brands. And of course, I'm talking about Skechers.
Can we stop the commercial? Willie, I don't think Skechers are illegal anywhere.
Really? But they feel so good.
No, you can wear them anywhere, Willie.
Well, pass the Skechers.
Skechers comfort feels so good because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has all the fits and features you need for ultimate comfort. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
As a kids, we all loved hopping on our bikes and hitting the road.
I'll be back for dinner. See ya.
Well, bikes just got reinvented for us big kids. If you haven't tried an electric bike, you have no idea what you're missing. Hit the road, the trails, or the beach by pedaling or not pedaling.
It's like being a kid all over again.
Start with the best. Hemingway e-bikes are the best fat tire electric bikes sold. Since 2017, Hemingway is known for durability, price, safety, and fun. Hemingway is the long-range e-bike experts, taking you faster and farther on a single charge. Hemingway sells direct to the consumer, ships right to your home, and has over 2,000 five-star reviews. Choose from 7 models, all with an unprecedented 2-year warranty. Find out why over 50,000 customers call Hemingway the best e-bike there is. Go to HemingwayEbike.com. That's HIMIWAY ebike.com. Now save up to $250 with promo code FANATIC. Go to HemingwayEbike.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager, learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
For what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. Today is the day of the wedding. Randy will be back tomorrow. We have Ralph from Harmon Solar. It's something that died on his head. You'd have to see that on our YouTube presentation. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. And of course, King of Kittens is already on there and says, suck it, Ralph. We're broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And well, that was actually sent at 2:49 p.m. So just anticipating the arrival of the Seahawks hat wearing Ralph, it's already begun.
It's Christmas. Come on.
Well,
Come on, King of Kittens.
Probably why it was so tame. You know, he's feeling the Christmas spirit and joy. Where did you find that horrific Seahawks Santa hat? That is horrible.
Well, it's actually the older model. This is back when Sean Alexander was playing.
Wait, are you talking about you or the hat?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both the older model. But I probably bought this about 12 years ago. I mean, you know, because I'm not a bandwagon and I have Seahawks stuff from forever.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, it usually sits on top of my tree because I do a Seahawk tree every other year.
That's either it's never been washed or you wrestled that recently away from a homeless person.
Well, you're right. I did.
Probably both.
There's so many homeless in Seattle. I just took it.
Oh, yeah. Try Portland anyway.
Yeah.
So listen, we have a packed show today. We can't be putting up with Ralph's nonsense. So here, let me tell you what's going to happen in this hour. We're just kind of screwing around. The next hour, we're doing our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. And then at 5 o'clock, fantasy girl Rosalie Michaels will join us and she will answer all of your fantasy football questions. Now, remember, even if you lost your first playoff game, you should still play through to see who's in third place, fourth place, fifth place. You know, don't give up, you know, and still, it still makes it fun. I'm playing Randy. in a consolation round. Oh boy, I don't feel too good about your chances, Ralph. You're playing the top dog, the number one guy in your consolation game.
I beat him already once, so.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen again. I'll tell you what, though, your guys' scores are close together week in, week out. I don't know if you watch that kind of thing.
I do, yeah.
But you guys are, you know, sometimes in an office, all the ladies' periods will sync up. I feel like your fantasy football scores have synced up, you know, pretty close together. Probably your periods too. 888-368-1580. So that's what we're doing today on the show, just to get this done and ready and out of the way so we don't got to worry about it. And sure enough, George will text me later. Hey, what happened to well, it's Thursday. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 2013, Peyton Manning finished with 32 completions on 51 attempts with 400 yards and 4 touchdown passes to set the single-season touchdown mark in the Denver Broncos' 37-13 win over the Houston Texans. Manning, with 51 touchdown passes, surpassed Tom Brady, who threw 50 in 2007. And by the way, his 55 touchdown passes in that season, still the record. Even today, it's probably like one of the last ones he still has, because all of them are just sort of melting away, and this is going to probably melt away too. You know, extra game. You know, you can't compare new records to old records when you add on more games and change rules. So anytime the old Peyton's records get, I'm just going to repeat that because it's not the same game anymore, is it? It's not the same.
No,
game.
I mean, and Peyton was on the extreme. The Colts were really in how much they passed the ball in that era. If they passed the ball the way they did then, now they'd be an average passing team in just attempts. So the game is just different from that aspect too. If Peyton played in today's offense, I don't think people would touch the numbers he would put up.
No, not even a little bit. There's Big George. Yeah, nice voice impression of me, Jeffrey. But I will not be saying that because I am listening to you today. Thank you for reading. Okay, George, you ever notice that nobody ever mimics somebody and sounds like them? Yeah, really? Because my wife always like, well, you I'm like, I know for a fact I've never sounded like that. There are recordings of me where I don't sound like that. So, but there you go, George. Hefty Lefty says, to be fair to Sola Sander over there, yeah, he is nothing close to bandwagon Seahawk fan. He knows that Sean Alexander is their best running back in team history, and he knows that Steve Largent passes the longest time fan test in my eye.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
I just keep looking at that hat thinking there's no way you don't currently have lice in there.
Did he call me Soulless Santa?
Solar.
Oh, solar.
So-
Okay. I soulless.
Might have been a
because he
Freudian slip
complimented
by
you.
me.
So that's what my name should say, Solar Santa on it.
Soulless Santa. Do you know how to change it, or do you need to get like a child or your wife to help?
Child or wife.
I can do it for you. Cabana says, did you say Randy is going to Ralph after his kid's wedding? No. Ralph is in because Randy is at there you go. Navy Brad is very happy and he says skull. I'm not going to do it the way he does it, but you get the idea. Mr. Pringle says Peyton Manning set his most important records while wearing a Denver Broncos uniform. You know, that's just doesn't matter. He's a Colt. He's a Colt through and through. You know what I'm saying? He shows up for all the Colt stuff. He didn't care about your stupid Broncos. Hefty Lefty says, in other news, rest in peace to Ronnie Hillman. Passed away at 31 years old, far too young. Cancer sucks. Yeah, and it's that was just such a shame. He's seemed like a good guy, didn't he? Seemed like a pretty
really
good,
did.
happy, good guy, and just all out of nowhere, liver cancer. Just doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right. But you know, he had at least the experience of winning the Super Bowl. You know, I'm sure that counts as one of the things in his life that he was very happy to get to achieve. King Kitten says, man, that weather tonight in Jersey, the rain, the wind, it's crazy. Hurricane, snowstorm, and century, decade, a year, whatever, something like that. Some of these games on Saturday, some bowl games, they're looking to be cold.
Mm-hmm. And potentially not good as a result.
Right. Well, we're going to do Keon Rose's college football dance party bowl edition tomorrow. But yeah, you will see that in Green Bay, in New York, that some of these games are going to be affected, and it could be entertaining or it just could be sad. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Curious ASU fan says, so since 2022 is almost over, I was thinking about doing a year in review. Here's my top local stories for 2022. I just want to pause this. Who asked him to do this?
Not a person. Not a person that any of us knows.
Should I just read it anyway?
Let's go for it.
Anyway, we're just screwing around this hour anyway.
Yeah.
He says, number 4, Herm Edwards released at ASU. Number 3, ASU men's basketball, except for yesterday. Number 2, Suns playoff choke. Number 1, Suns owner being forced out and new ownership. So here's the top stories for 2022 worldwide. Serena Williams and Roger Federer retiring from tennis. That's a top story.
Internationally, tennis is big internationally. Yeah.
Brittany Griner arrest and release. Beijing Winter Olympics and the World Cup. So
that was for you.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I don't care what the world thinks or cares about, because we're here. So, but thanks, curious ASU fan. That was something. CK says, Seahawk fan, homeless person, tomato, right?
Damn.
888-368-1580. So, all right, let's talk about a few things. I know we've got a heavy football day ahead of us here. Week 16 is starting up, and we're running out of weeks for football, at least our regular season, playoffs ahead, Super Bowl ahead. But help me out here. Why? What? We just got the damn note. We just got the shingle. We're not going to be 25 after this. ASU's not going to be ranked 25 after this now. Just got, it's kind of like when you get new shoes, right? And you're kind of being careful with them, and then some a-hole scuffs them, and you're like, what the? This is worse than a scuff. This is worse. San Francisco Dons beat the Sun Devils 97-60. It wasn't even like, woo, good game. Wow. This was a blowout from the start. They came out just, I was going to say balls blazing. That's probably not right. Just shooting like crazy. Hey, what the hell happened, Keon? We're going to lose our ranking now, aren't we? We're going to lose our ranking.
I know, 100% going to lose the ranking.
Well, even if we beat somebody else, well, there's nobody else because we're winter break, right?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to pull it up. I know that there is
playing tonight or tomorrow or something.
It's winter break, and then the 31st they play Arizona.
So, that's not going to go.
Yeah, so that's So it's starting conference play right after that. But no, this was a disaster of a game from the very opening tip. Essentially, they just seemed flat-footed, and it's like they weren't prepared for San Francisco, which is a good team. They are first in the West Coast Conference there with Gonzaga and a bunch. Well, I don't know if they're first, but they're in that conference with Gonzaga and a bunch of those other like really good mid-major schools, St. Mary's. So it's not like you lost to a bad team. I think they're 10-4 this year, but still to be beaten like that is not acceptable in any particular way. And I just think that this is going to happen throughout the season, where they're just going to drop the ball on games like this, because that's how they started the season. Actually, just a really bad flat-footed loss to Texas Southern.
Did Bobby Hurley say, "Hey guys, let's just try it without defense tonight, see how it goes"? Because that's what happened. And then Bobby Hurley got himself ejected. A lot of times people think coaches will do that to try to rile up the troops, get them out going. And no, he did it so he didn't have to watch any more of this horrible game. He's just like, I just want to go to whatever you say. What do you need me to say? I'll say it. Just get me out of here. Well, at least for a day, we got to be happy that they were ranked 25th in the AP. Well, that's gone now.
And because they can get it back, but they're not beating Arizona. But after that, they've got Washington State. There's like a run of schools that are Pac-12 schools that, at least on paper, not that it means anything with this ASU team, but at least on paper, they should be better than.
I don't care what happens. I want them to beat U of A. I know it's an uphill idea. I know it's a near impossibility, but I want to see that happen. I'm going to watch that game because that's what I want to see happen. Because they took the Territorial Cup away from us in football. I want to put a ding in them. If we just lost our ranking, I want them to fall 5 or I don't know how. If we beat them, it's like 10 drops in the
probably.
Right?
Yeah, they're 5th.
Yeah.
So I mean, they'll
be down to 15 by the time we're done with them. Listen, it's a long shot, but that's what I want to see happen. I want them to hurt. Is that? I mean, that's not wrong.
No, no. That's how your rivalry should go. That's perfectly normal.
Donnie says ASU ruined my last leg parlay last night. I wish nothing but a lump of coal for Bobby Hurley and his crew. Big George says, Jeffrey, this is what Bobby Hurley does. Minute he gets ranked, he craps all over the bed. He stinks. Get him out of here. Fire Bobby Hurley. Every time.
I'm not willing to go that far. He's 11-2 this year, Big George. It's not like it's not like you fire somebody at 11-2. It's a disappointing loss. You regroup, you pull it back together. And this was a San Francisco team that everybody thought the game might be close because they are quality. Khalil Shabazz, their point guard, that dude is incredible. I mean, their defense last night made him look like the player of the damn year, but he is a really good basketball player. And ASU was favored to win by 2.5. So a loss, not the big deal. It's how they lost. It's that they seemed unprepared. It's that they were caught flat-footed. And that happened once this year. And you would think it wouldn't happen again against a school that you should be better than.
Mr. Pink Eye says, number 5 local story of 2022, Keon Rage. Yeah, the flash anger. Yeah, that could be.
It's an event.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a story, which is it's a thing. King Kenton says Summer Olympics begin next year, July 26th in Paris, and end in time for the NFL preseason, August 11th. Did San Francisco have Wilt Chamberlain in the squad last night or something? I don't want to talk about this anymore. Thunder Snow says, Donnie. I don't know what's behind that, but all right. Okay, so as bad as it was for the Suns to get just beat down, seriously beat down by San Francisco, the Nets came out 91 points in the first half versus the Warriors. That you just don't see that. Just crazy. Kevin Durant just went off himself a little bit, but I mean, it was just 40-point halftime lead over the Warriors. That is the biggest halftime deficit a defending NBA champion has ever faced, according to people.
I don't have words for what happened. I struggle to find the words because it wasn't just Durant. Like the whole team went off. 143 points, even in today's we don't play any defense, can't really guard anybody league. That is still insane. 91 points and a half. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, Draymond Green was in the game. He's supposed to be pretty good defense.
He is supposed to be a pretty good defender. Yeah.
Not last night.
No, but you know what? None of them looked like good defenders last night. Because I mean, you look at the number.
Score. Did you catch the final score? 143 to 113.
Every starter for the Nets was in double figures, and then most of the bench. They couldn't miss. The whole team couldn't miss. And I do think that this is partly, a sign of why they kind of needed to move on from Steve Nash. It's not because Steve Nash was a horrible coach, but I just think for your first ever coaching job and you don't have any coaching experience, having to manage all of those egos, I don't think he was ready for that. Jacques Vaughn's done this before. And it shows. Those guys.
His name is Jacques.
His name is Jacques.
Jacques.
He's from California, though. But
he's French, is he?
Not that I'm aware.
Then it's Jack. You don't call yourself Jacques if you're not French. Now I'm really good and pissed off at the Nets.
It's spelled that way, though. That's his parents, man. I don't know what to tell you.
He better be French, or else I'm going to have a call with him.
I really don't think he is.
I'm going to get his ass on the phone.
Just listening to him in interviews, it doesn't seem like Jacques Vaughn is a French guy. But I think that he gets a lot out of these players, and he gets a lot out of this team, and he's able to get the competing egos to kind of buy in a way that Steve Nash just didn't have the gravitas, the weight to do as a head coach.
Oh, by the way, I saw this. Pat Beverly is two shorting people again. This time he was down by 19 points when he two shorted somebody. Why does he just stop doing that?
Can he not read a scoreboard? Because I know he can. It's only two numbers. Sometimes the numbers get very big, but
he can in his own world.
I don't know, man.
I don't know what the hell he's
doing. Like when you're losing, don't flex on people, don't stare at anybody, don't do the somebody shoots an air ball or something, kind of duck, don't do any of that stuff if you're down any amount of points, much less 19 points.
Speaking of shouldn't have done that, Jimmy Butler, he missed the Heat game because he had a stomach issue. Turns out it's because he was eating crickets in Mexico.
Oh, jeez.
So I guess here's what happened. He went and he ate some crickets in Mexico when they went and played the Spurs. They went.
It was a Mexico City game.
Right. The Miami Heat went there, and so he went there and he was like, "Hey, well, my game there was so good because I ate some crickets. Yeah, I got 26 points and we beat them." And then the next day they're like, "Where's Jimmy Butler?" Oh no. The crickets have found their way back out, and not in a good way. I don't know if he's going to be back for the next game or not. But yeah, see, that's the thing. You just shouldn't eat crickets. Probably shouldn't eat much of anything in Mexico City when you're there. Just don't drink the water. Remember they say don't drink the water. But hey, genius, don't crunch on the ice cubes. What do you think it's made out of? You know how many times I've seen people do that in Mexico? And they're like, "Oh, I didn't eat water. They're like, I'm so sick." Well, what did you drink water? No, the crunch on the ice cubes. I wish I didn't know you. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll catch up on the text line. We're going to talk about the Pro Bowl because there's no Pro Bowl, which makes me very happy because that was the dumbest damn thing for a lot of years. Now they're turning it into another dumb damn thing. But the Pro Bowl voting is what helps a lot of these guys get bonuses and stuff in their contracts. It's a prestige thing. We'll talk about it a little bit because all of our teams. Well, I didn't even look at your team there, though, Ralph. I guess I should go back and take a look.
We got 4 guys in there. And more will be there.
We mean more will be there.
Alternates, because people are going to bow out. They always do. Oh, my goodness.
It's only going to be one Colt there.
For the mascot? Or
yes. Okay. Blue will be there. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Thursday night football, the Jets take on the Jaguars. New York's favored by 2. Jacksonville plus 115 on the money line. The over-under is 37. The Jets are 7-7. Jacksonville 6-8. Both teams are in the playoff hunt. Mike White is out for New York. That means 2021 second overall pick Zach Wilson will start his 9th game of the season. Quinnen Williams questionable after missing last week with a calf injury. Trevor Lawrence, Andrew Wingard, Chad Muma, Brandon Sheriff, and Jawan Taylor all listed as questionable for the Jaguars. Top 25 hoops tonight. Number 4, Kansas takes on Harvard. The Jayhawks are favored by 21.5. Number 5, Arizona battles Morgan State. The Wildcats are a 28-point favorite. Red Hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Chuck Sanders on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol. When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Remember last year when you wanted to hear that NFL matchup, but you couldn't because you were at your nephew's birthday party and the Fanatic couldn't stream the NFL on their app? Didn't that suck?
Well, those days are over, pal. Now you can listen live to every primetime NFL game on the Fanatic app. Download the app now at the Google Play Store or the App Store or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We got a load of NFL games coming up here on the big radio station tonight. Well, basically, I apologize. We have a Jaguars and Jets. But then on Saturday, we got Bills and Bears. It'll be interesting to see how things go there. People are getting upset about his name is falling out of my head. Justin Field. What's the name of the quarterback at the Bears?
Zach
Justin
Wilson.
Fields.
Oh,
Zach Wilson.
I thought you were talking about him on the.
No, the Bears. It's Justin Fields.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Oh, I did get it right. All right.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, it's a travesty that Justin Fields is not in the Pro Bowl. Dude, you got 3 wins. I don't know what the hell you're thinking was going to happen here. Yes, he's got a lot of potential. He's going to be a great player down the road, not today. But the Bears and the Bills are there. I like watching the Bears. I like seeing kind of how things are developing. You don't expect anything to happen, but it's good to see little glimpses of what the future can hold as long as they don't end up killing Justin Fields. The Bills, though, their hair on fire right now. Then after that, you got the Commanders at the 49ers. This is going to tell us a lot about both teams, really.
Yeah, I'm deeply concerned personally.
You should be.
I don't know why you started laughing at that. It will tell you a lot about.
Yeah, I know
both
exactly
teams.
what you're saying. That's why. I get what you're saying.
After that is Raiders at Steelers. They'll tell us nothing about any team that really matters right now. Sunday, you got the Packers at the Dolphins. And then after that, you got Broncos at Rams. Monday Night Football is Chargers at the Colts. And I apologize in advance for that. So that is the schedule right there. Give me watching football on Christmas, guys.
A little, but then the NBA does their thing on Christmas, and I've been watching the NBA on Christmas for as long as I can remember. So I will be doing that probably.
Do you want to watch the Cardinals suck on Christmas night, or do you want to watch the Suns suck on Christmas night? Do you want to watch the Coyotes suck on Christmas night? Do you want to watch? I don't even know if they're actually playing, but I'm just saying. Well, we watch the Lakers suck anytime we want. Yeah,
Well, they'll be on Christmas. They always are.
That ain't a special thing, to be honest.
Of course it is.
Well, it'd be a special thing for us because we get to watch them suck. But let's talk about the Pro Bowl. Well, first, let me get caught up on the text line real fast. Baker's cocky hen says Pat Beverly's not saying too short. He's trying to ask the competition to take it down a notch, so they can get back in the game. No, that's good. That's good thinking.
It's very
Baker's
reasonable,
doing.
actually.
Yeah, that's
He's very polite then.
and then I take it back. I take it back about Patrick Beverly. Charlie Boy says, hi, guys. And you're right, Jeffrey. I want ASU to beat those damn Wildcats. Go ASU. Hey, once. We all want. But, let's just hope for the best. You never know. Upsets can happen. Halfy Lefty says, as a Lakers fan, I can speak confidently for the majority of Laker fans by saying we pray that Beverly gets kidnapped by Krampus and never returns to this team.
Wow.
He says, also fun trivia for Suns fans. The Suns hold the record for points and a half with 92. Kevin Durant has now been on the team of second and third place, and he did it with the Warriors too. The Suns still have the record. Oh, I thought that the Nets broke that one. Oh, good. Well, at least we got something going for us. Ken Kenton says, will the Fanatic have live coverage of the Pro Bowl events? I asked this question because I have no life. No. I don't think so. I don't think we are contractually obligated. When we signed all the stuff that you sign for things, they were seeing Pro Bowl was there. Now there's no Pro Bowl. We ain't got to do nothing.
Well, we could come on the air and watch it and then announce it. That'd be fun.
Let me know how that goes. You have my blessing.
Ralph, there's one fatal flaw in your plan, Ralph, and that's we would have to watch the Pro Bowl to do it.
Yeah. There ain't no we.
We have nothing better to do.
There ain't no we.
We all have nothing.
I'm pretty sure I could find something. I can literally make up something better to do.
I could bring that beer and we could watch it.
Watch the beer would be better. Just stare at it for a while,
or just drink the beer and watch anything else. I mean, that's the issue.
Leave me the hell out of this. All right, so the Arizona Cardinals got a guy in the Pro Bowl, Budda Baker. No big surprise there.
He should be there.
Any surprises? Was there any other players that were on the Arizona Cardinals that you thought, maybe they should have got a look on there too? Is there anybody that,
no.
Colt McCoy's played his heart out.
No. Budda Baker's a stud, and that's where it stops.
Outside of maybe Simmons.
Yeah, I was thinking about Simmons a little bit. But
he's been good. I I wouldn't say Pro Bowl level, but if I had to think of a second person, he comes to mind.
So for my Indianapolis Colts, Quentin Nelson, well, that's a gimme. Yeah, this is really a sad fall from grace. You go from 7 guys, a record 7 guys last year, to 1 guy this year. I mean, don't tell me we're not tanking. Washington Commandos, they got Terry McLaurin. They got Jonathan Allen. He's lineman. They got punter Tressway and special teamer Jeremy Reeves. Not exactly an impressive position group, except for Terry McLaurin.
I mean, except for McLaurin and, of course, Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen's been a beast this year. I mean, just he kind of plays in the middle of the defensive line. He doesn't do all the stuff that Aaron Donald does in terms of just blowing apart plays. But what he does well is just put tons of pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and he gets more sacks than somebody at his position probably should. And that's just a testament to how talented he is, and he's been awesome.
So you have to be a little bit surprised. Never thought you'd hear this, but Geno Smith is in the Pro Bowl.
How amazing is that?
Yeah, I'm stunned. Seeing Tariq Woolen or Quandre Diggs or Jason Myers, all right,
they all deserve it.
But Geno Smith
has had he should be in the talk about MVP this year too. I mean,
he's got to talk about that $500,000 incentive he has there
he'll get
20
paid.
touchdown passes, and
He's going to get paid next year.
Yeah, Geno Smith is the surprise comeback player. Can you get comeback player of the year without having been injured? Because that would be Geno Smith.
You can. Like if you just statistically were just incredibly low and then you come back. Or bounce back. For him, it's just been years since he's had this opportunity.
8 years.
So yeah, you can though. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want me to take a look at your team, just let me know, and we'll take a look at who's in there on your team. There is a little bit of a hubbub being made about T.J. Watt making the Pro Bowl and Eddie Jackson not making the Pro Bowl. T.J. Watt missed 7 games. Eddie Jackson missed 2. Was Eddie Jackson not good enough to be in the Pro Bowl? Is that what this is telling us? Or is there some weirdness going on here? Maybe there's some weirdness. He was leading all safeties in fan Pro Bowl voting before he got injured a couple weeks ago. And after that, he was immediately taken off the ballot. So why is TJ Watt there after missing 7 games? And this guy only is going to miss 2.
Yeah, that I don't know. That seems a little odd. No, and Eddie Jackson's really good. I had to pull it up because I wanted to make sure. But in most of the games that he's played 100% of the defensive snaps, which is, in the NFL where we've got guys that are really specialized. That's kind of rare for a guy playing safety to just be back there all the time. Got a bunch of tackles this year, make some plays, taking the football away. That does seem very strange.
Sup, Pro Bowl? Sup? Even Eddie Jackson, he tweeted out, he was like, hey, how somebody missed 6 games but still make Pro Bowl? I missed 2 and I get taken off the ballot. Then he thought twice about it and deleted it. But as you know, nothing stays deleted. Also, another guy, Tua Tagovailoa, he didn't make the Pro Bowl, even though he was leading all players in fan voting. So, I mean, fan voting, I guess, doesn't make a difference, but it was nice, I guess.
Or what would have been nice. I do kind of like that they're able to override the fans that way, because the NBA All-Star game is like, hey, everybody vote for your favorite players. And next thing you know, it's injured guys that don't play making the NBA All-Star game because they're still popular and they're still name brands. I kind of like that you can take the fans' vote into account, but discard it if it doesn't make any sense.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't care about Pro Bowls, but I would like to see the MVP stuff sorted out smarter. But I don't want to get in that right now. Does it help that Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are going to be a part of the Pro Bowl festivities? They'll be coaches over the AFC and in the NFC team during the whole event. I mean,
well, they're great personalities, right? I mean, they really are.
They're
no,
okay.
I think they're really good.
They were really good. Then they got boring. And now I don't know.
But I still think I agree with Ralph. I still think they're really fun personalities.
They may have outlived the welcome. I don't know.
No, I like them.
I mean, that's possible, but I don't think so. I think with the Manning cast, I think that's kind of outlived its welcome because they've gone so much more in favor of interviewing people that have nothing to do with football.
Yeah.
That makes the Manning cast not as fun as it used to be to watch. But I still like them. Like if the Manning cast got more to Peyton and Eli talking ball, I would go back and watch that some more.
Yeah, I agree. Because when it started, they had the guests. All right, what do you think is going to happen here? And they would like have fun trying to call play. They were more focused on the game originally. Now it's just like, oh, so and so's here, and then the game is just ignored.
Yeah,
and where it's pretty damn bad when I got to go back to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
No, nobody should have to do that on purpose.
Holy crap,
nobody.
So they'll be part of this coaching the AFC, the NFC, and not judging, but coaching these guys in the skills stuff. I guess I don't know. Dare I watch this just to see, or can I just count on you to watch it so I don't have to?
Well, I'm gonna watch it.
All right,
I can tell you all about it.
I will take a glance.
Who won't fall asleep drunk watching it though?
I won't.
I might.
Yeah, so I can. All right, Ralph, it's your assignment.
Do you think the first time guys are pissed they're doing this versus playing a semi game?
No, I don't think they care. I think they're glad they don't have to put all that stress, even though it's like half speed, right?
Right.
It's still dressing out. It's still a thing. This, you show up in your shorts and a t-shirt and you kind of do some stuff for fun if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Do the throwing competition, play a little dodgeball.
Yeah, it's just a summer camp.
Because the problem with the Pro Bowl is either you get all dressed up and it's for a game that really isn't that fun for anybody, not the players, not the fans. We're just all kind of watching this practice basically go down. Or what the Pro Bowl was when I was a kid, where Sean Taylor would just blow up people. It was like, well, okay, I just came to Hawaii to spend time with my family. I didn't actually want to try this weekend. None of us are going to the Super Bowl. You really don't have to hit me full speed.
Well,
and I think you just eliminate that altogether.
All-star games should count for something in some way, like Major League Baseball used to. And this whole Pro Bowl thing that happens right before the Super Bowl, nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn. But in this, I don't know. Let us know if it's worth watching, Ralph. Because
I always thought it was fun to watch the teams that just got knocked out of the conference championships getting all pissed off and going to the Pro Bowl. And you see those guys and they just weren't into it at all, but they're just there. That's always amusing to me. I don't know.
It's just the problem was we got to the point where a lot of the top level guys were just like, you know what? I'm still pissed and I don't want to be on TV and I don't want to have microphones shoved in my face. And I don't want to throw a ball 60 yards to a target. I just want to, recover from this season, watch some film and hang out with my family.
How about this? It's like, all right, the good news is you've made the Pro Bowl and we're just doing a skills competition. The bad news is it's in Buffalo. No. What? Donnie, this is confusing. I thought Donnie was a Vikings fan. It sounds like he's an Eagles fan. He says, I won't be watching the Pro Bowl because my guys will be playing in Glendale a week later. Boom. I guess he's an Eagles fan. Didn't realize that. Oh, Big George says, I think you guys would be better putting some pickleball on the air than the Pro Bowl. That or reruns of the morning show.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. And again, how's the skills competition going to translate on radio? I guess if you got good announcers, anything can translate. But
no.
Hefty Lefty says the Pro Bowl is going to be chock full of Diggs. All three Diggs made it. Well, I know there's Stephon Diggs.
Quandre Diggs.
And then there's Larry.
Trayvon
Diggs.
Wait, there's Stephon, Larry, and who's the other one?
Who's Larry?
Larry Diggs. There's a fourth Diggs.
Is there?
Is there?
And what does he play?
I don't remember. I just remember seeing Larry.
There's a Larry Diggs.
Larry Diggs.
Is he a ref?
What's really cracking me up right now is Keon is actually Googling it.
Part of me is just like, how is there a Larry Diggs and I don't know who that person is?
He's like,
and then yesterday
leans over and starts.
Yeah, I got Pro Football Reference up. If there's a name I don't know, I got to figure it out.
Oh my God, I was just kidding.
I thought so, but you know what?
It's good to always check just in case. Good Cat says, please don't put reruns of the morning show on. Well, I'm sure somebody'd say the same thing about this show. So, yeah, shut up. Heavy Metal Maniac says, it would really warm my heart if you would play Burn in Hell Lakers for me and Ralph, since I know he loves this. Do we have the full version of the song?
I do not have it.
No,
you have no version of the song?
I have no version of this song. It's not
Burn in Hell Lakers.
It's not the same.
Burn in Hell. The original one was Randy and I singing just like this. Burn in Hell Lakers. Yeah. Shut the hell up, Ralph. Used to be Shut the Hell Up, Phil, but you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Boom Sooner says, Jeffrey, I'm on the road with Randy. Liar. I know he's at a wedding. Kenton says, Keon, listening to you on the big national ad there freaks me out. Anyway, Keon, all 5 Christmas games are simulcast on the ESPN and ABC. There's only 3 Christmas games.
I guess we're talking about the basketball.
I think he's talking NBA.
Oh, right. Okay.
Thanks for the heads up there. Now I just one less, Google search to figure out where the game's on.
I need a countdown clock. I'm so excited to shut down DirecTV and move to Google. Is it Google TV or
YouTube TV?
YouTube TV? The Goog. I'm just going to call it the Goog TV because they own them, right?
TV. Yeah, they do.
Google owns YouTube, so it's the Goog TV.
And when are you doing this?
Probably as soon as the last game is played on the Sunday ticket. I'm very excited.
That's good.
King Kitten says, he's air quotes. Yeah. Best of Blender. Thank you. 888-368-1580.
It's our best anyway. It's whatever.
Well, let's see if I'm just going to kind of look through here. See, was there anybody left off the Pro Bowl list? You're just like, wait a minute, the hell? Okay, don't start listing off Seahawks players.
This is legit.
Okay, let's hear it.
We might have the same one.
The number 2 tackler in the league, Jordan Brooks, is not on the team. That's ridiculous.
Where does she play?
He is a linebacker, and he is one of the top 2 to 3 linebackers in the league.
You said Jordan, so sorry.
It's sickening that.
What team is that?
Seattle.
See, I just said don't say.
No, but
Seattle.
you have to.
You don't have to do it.
The number 2 tackler in the league.
He's number 2. Should have been number 1. What do you want?
Absolutely. And then Tyler Lockett. How does he get left off?
Well,
that I'll agree with. Why is Tyler Lockett not on there?
That seems odd to me.
You see how I looked over at Keon like I'm blaming him? Yeah. Why in the hell is he not on there, Keon?
You know what? I'll get back on it. I'll have to figure it out. I'll talk to my sources.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I don't believe Christian McCaffrey made the Pro Bowl.
You are correct.
That
Miles Sanders did. That ain't right. I mean, I like Miles Sanders. Got him in fantasy football.
And he's been good. But Christian McCaffrey's been ridiculous.
But he's been out. He was out a lot too in the beginning, wasn't he? Hurt.
Well, he got traded.
He got traded to the Niners. He's been good since then. But before that,
since he got there,
right? But when he was with Carolina, he wasn't good, and he was hurt.
He was pretty solid with Carolina. I mean, it wasn't great, but part of that is
right. He's been better since he went to Frisco.
But that's been a while, and he's been incredible since it happened, both receiving and as a running back. So
wait a minute, where's Gardner Minshew?
Well, he hasn't played any games yet. So
well, they should have just put him on there for the mustache. It's a travesty. All right, we have to take a break. We come back, more of your texts and other Pro Bowl and then football stuff before we get ready to do our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. And of course, later on in the program, fantasy girl Rosalie Michaels answers all your fantasy football questions if you're not a loser and you still have some. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Sorry, Keon.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. Coming up on Thursday Night Football, the Jets host the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville have played their way into the postseason hunt. Now they head to New York to face a Jets team desperate to break a 3-game slide and keep their playoff hopes alive. Join us on air and on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's home for the NFL.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with the promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code WIN for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona 1-800-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut 1-800 1-800-9 with it. Indiana, Kansas 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. Louisiana 1-877-770-STOP. New York 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Wyoming, West Virginia 1-800-522-4700 or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
The holidays are here. Achieve gifting greatness when you give perfectly aged, tender, delicious Omaha Steaks. Go to omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide. Plus, when you use code SIZZLE at checkout, you get an extra $40 off your order. Omaha Steaks is ready to ship curated special, take the guesswork out of gifting packages right away. So beat the rush and be a holiday hero. Shop omahasteaks.com. Use promo code SIZZLE at checkout for that extra $40 off your order. Minimum order may be required.
Looking for a great holiday gift? Radio Ron Cohen here again for Himaway Electric Bikes. By now, you've seen all the people riding e-bikes. If you've yet to ride one, let me tell you, they are so much fun. And for over 2 years, the e-bike I recommend is Himaway. I did my research, and it is clear that Himaway e-bikes are the best fat tire electric bikes sold. Himaway is known for its long-range battery, durability, price, safety, and fun. Himaway sells direct to the consumer, ships right to your home, and has over 2,000 five-star reviews. Choose from 7 models, all with an unprecedented 2-year warranty. Find out why over 50,000 customers, including me, call Himaway the best e-bike there is. Go to HimawayEbike.com. That's HIMIWAY ebike.com. And now, for a limited time, don't miss your chance to save up to $250 when you use promo code FANATIC. Go to HimawayEbike.com.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the 6-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and program notes. We will not be here next week. It's that time of year where we give the other radio stations shows a shot. You know, this thing is just not fair if we're here every week. We'll be back on January 2nd. Anyway, we were talking Pro Bowl. 888-368-1580. Chamoy says CMC is the obvious snub. And we know corruption runs deep in the NFL, but what's the point of a fan voting and involvement if Tua, the top vote getter, doesn't make it? What is the point? I mean, what is the point of the fan voting along with the other voting for Pro Bowl stuff? How does this whole damn thing work, Keon?
I'm not going to lie to you. How the fan voting interacts with it, I'm not entirely sure. It seems like they take the fan vote and it's a consideration. Like all of the fans count as one person's vote, and then you've got the other.
Well, that's dumb. It's kind of dumb.
Folks involved in voting. It might be dumb. I don't.
This whole thing is dumb.
I don't know exactly how the process works. So I can't necessarily break it down for you. Whereas, like, I know in the NBA, it's part fan vote, part writers, part I believe coaches. So that seems better.
Somebody needs to explain to me how much weight the fan voting has, because it seems like it has 0 weight when it came to Tua Tagovailoa and Christian McCaffrey. Those two things, it just did not make a difference.
I think they need to do that, though, because there's these bots and things that can sit there and go online and vote like crazy and dominate.
And not if you click the little captcha thing that says, I'm not a robot.
There's a way around it.
But the fan,
if you're not a robot,
the fans can vote as many times as they want to. So it's just like, well, You understand?
Don't let them vote as many times. Why do I have to fix everything? And make everybody who votes have to put in an email address, and then that's it. And if you use more than one email address, we come to your house and we kick the crap out of your grandma.
What if she's dead?
Well, we just pick the next one in line.
Pick your next of kin.
Yeah. If it comes down to your puppy, we're kicking the crap out of your puppy.
Awesome.
I'm not kidding. I will enforce this myself.
Oh, no.
My right leg will be so tired from kicking puppies and grandmas. I don't even give a crap. You get one vote.
Just for the Pro Bowl, I am not so overly concerned.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know, how many of these guys are going to even show up?
No, wait, I've decided I'll do it anyway. Just for the Pro Bowl.
I bet you a bunch of them don't even go.
Well, I think they will. I think you'll get more for a non-game event than you will for the game event. And I think that you're going to get a lot of people showing up and just out of curiosity, like, what is this new thing? What is this going to be like? You know, and some of the people may not participate, but then they just get to hang out and have fun with these other guys. I think you will see probably more players show up for this than where is this being held, by the way? Wait, do you know where it's being held?
Vegas?
Hold on here. Oh, there it is. Don't talk to me. I'm reading.
Thought it was Vegas, but I could be wrong.
That's Vegas.
I said, don't talk to me. I'm reading.
He was talking to me.
I can't find it. It's not on here. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows where it is. Let's see. Fish Tank says, I'm actually cooking an Omaha steak right now. How have they not got Peyton Manning as their spokesperson yet? Well, that's good. Omaha, probably because he also is annoyed by their salesmanship. Thunder Snow says, Jeffrey, you have to fix everything because you're emperor. Well, yeah, if I'm emperor, I can just snap my fingers and it's done. But right now, not emperor, I may have to go around and kick somebody's grandma. I mean, if that has to be with the way it gets done, I'll do it. I'll do it right damn now. Pinocchio says, I think Carrie Lake is challenging the fan votes exclusion because she ran out of things to sue about. CK says, Ari runs in shorts. It doesn't matter. We don't want any Grandma Bruce's runs. What in the hell are you talking about? Well, I said we were going to screw around in this hour. I didn't say we were going to go that far, CK. I don't know what you're talking about. King Kenton says, Jeffrey, it's the land of the dirt people. You can get free TV from both Phoenix and Tucson. Get it at Henna. Yeah, but I want the Sunday ticket, King Kittens. I want the Sunday ticket. And I don't want anything from Tucson. Thanks. Just leave me out of it. Heavy Metal Maniac says, I like YouTube TV. It's okay. Problem is they don't broadcast Diamondbacks or Suns games live. Well, there's solutions for that. And I will do what I got to do for that too. Is it a lot of money?
I don't know. It's the Valley Sports. I think that's you'd have to get that.
Is it expensive?
I don't know. I don't have it.
Ralph's got a hookup. I
do.
Gonna have to get more serious about his ideas.
I told you.
Berg says, afternoon, guys. Good luck, Keon and Jeffrey, Randy in the Premier League playoffs. You got this. Shut up. He says, F Direct TV. Yeah, that's the idea here in a couple of weeks. Fighting Wampa says, my grandma looks like she was in the band Twisted Sister. Good luck trying to kick her ass, O'Brien. I didn't say I was going to kick her ass. Just gonna kick her. Fish Tank says Tua will still get to the Pro Bowl. Someone's got to replace a quarterback who actually goes in the Super Bowl, you know. Right. Yeah, it won't be Tua. Sorry, nothing personal, but it's not gonna happen. Are we ready to start saying that team ain't gonna make it?
No.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So Seahawks aren't gonna make it.
It's gonna be tough.
It's not even gonna happen.
It's gonna be tough.
Hey, I wanted to talk about this earlier, but we didn't because, I don't know, stupid stuff. J.J. Watt has had to deal with some fools. You know what I'm saying? Got to deal with some fools. And, he's a nice guy. When that whole thing happened, I can't remember which storm it was or so. He was out there helping people. Was that? I don't think it was Katrina.
No, it was Hurricane Harvey.
That's it, Hurricane Harvey. And he went out there and helped out. He put his money where his mouth is, and he raised a bunch of money, and he helped out. And he is a good guy. And in every interaction you've seen him in, you have not seen him be a douchebag. Every time you turn around, good guy. And sometimes excessive good guyedness seems to piss bad people off. You know what I mean? And so he gets this the text out or tweet or whatever. Tocho Moracho, he tweeted because somewhere along the line, JJ Watt mentioned that he used to idolize Reggie White. He always wanted to be just like him. And so this guy says, White retired in 2000. You were born in 89. No 10 or 11-year-old ever said, man, Reggie White is my idol around that age. Quit it with this false humility. This is about you and only you. Nothing wrong with being proud of your accomplishments. Just be real. Don't be fake.
Jeez.
And then JJ Watt's like, okay, well, please tell me more about my life. And he posts up this newspaper clipping that says JJ Watt 7 says Reggie White is he's a good football player. They played good on Monday. I want to be a good football player. A news clipping out of a newspaper back when people used to read them. So
nice.
Yeah, tell me more about my life. You're right. He wasn't 10 or 11. He was 7 when he first said that.
Why wouldn't a 10 or 11-year-old? Like, I'm trying to understand the broken, twisted logic of this person's brain. What about being 10 or 11 makes it so that Reggie White couldn't be your favorite player? Like, you think that little kids don't watch defense too? Like, when you see a guy like Reggie White, I don't care how old you are, you know that dude's different.
My son is a phenom. He can catch passes like nobody's business. But you know what he loves? He loves playing defense. And he's just like, oh, God, it's so much fun to play defense. And he gets excited and he will watch a football game and he will watch the defensive side with just as much joy and excitement as he does the offense. I mean, not a lot since he's a Broncos fan, but still, that's the way he sees it. So, no, it's absolutely plausible and true that somebody could really, and listen, I was a kid, when Reggie White was playing, I was a young man going, damn, he's good. I wanted to be like Reggie White.
It's so difficult to believe that somebody growing up in New York watching Lawrence Taylor didn't think, damn, I want to play like that. It's because it jumps off the screen. You can tell right away. When I was a kid, I want to be just like Sean Taylor. Like he was amazing, and kids can tell, it's not just all throw the ball and everybody pays attention to the offense there, especially when you talk about generational talents like Reggie damn White.
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious to everybody watching. Like that's somebody that you can use as a role model if you want to play football.
I mean, when I was 10, I loved Jack Youngblood. That was my guy.
Sure.
Remember him? I mean, I idolized him.
So, here's what happens. Sometimes when people see other people being happy, it makes miserable people angry. And so this guy, probably miserable in his life, sees JJ Watt saying, yeah, all these things and just like, how dare you be happy when I'm this?
Yep.
And then they channel all that to them. So, but I thought was interesting is JJ Watt decided to even waste the calories to answer to it because nobody but that guy was going to say he was wrong. So Raven Kid says, how about me? I loved watching JJ Watt when I was 10 and 11, despite being a Ravens fan. Is there a problem there?
No,
not with that. Many other problems with you in other places, but not there. Not that. Kyle G says, I lived in Wisconsin while Reggie played for the Packers. Lots of us kids loved Reggie White, wanted to be just like him. Our parents wanted us to be just like him. Yeah. He was a good guy. If there's some scandal I don't know about. Was there scandal?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. My
White
memory is he was just a decent
He was
fellow.
clean.
Yeah.
I mean,
isn't that sad that now I'm so trained with the way people have been lately that, wait, I love that guy. Can I like that guy? Is he all right? Okay. Fish Tank says, aren't we down to like 6 possible teams going to the Super Bowl? In the AFC, you're looking at the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals. NFC, Eagles, Vikings, and some combination of 49ers or Cowboys, because the NFC is so damn bad. Everyone else is already kind of cut. No, not so much. There's a lot of people in the hunt, and there are some mistakes that can be made on both sides. They can change that, but your assessment there, largely right. But there's some stuff that could happen here in the next week or two that could turn that over and surprise you.
The Lions could make the playoffs. How crazy is that?
I thought you were making a joke.
No, they're 7-7.
They're right there.
The two teams, at let's go Washington at 7. Washington is 7-6-1.
Spoiler alert: it won't be the Lions.
It'd be amazing if they made it, though.
I don't see why it wouldn't be, though.
You'd pull for them if they were in the playoffs.
No,
you have to.
No,
I would.
I don't care about the Lions.
I'd have a lion hat.
I'm sure you
Borrow
already do.
Randy's.
Yeah, I'm sure you already do.
Yeah, just borrow Randy's.
King Kenton says he still reads newspapers. Whatever. All right, we have to take a break. Natty Daddy says he loved watching Asante Samuel, great cornerback in the day. All right, picks next. Daily Blender, 1580, the Fanatic.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you looking to retire in the next 10 years, but you're only a year or two into a 30-year mortgage? Turns out large mortgage payments on fixed income can be extremely challenging, if not impossible. Well, Life Changer Loan is your solution, where you can pay off your mortgage in well under 10 years without changing a dime of spending habit. Plus, you can keep access to your equity while enjoying your golden years. It's not magic, it's just math. So check us out at lifechangerloan.com. That's lifechangerloan.com.
Arizona Mortgage Broker number MD1002031 NMLS number 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
And now an important message from music superstar Willie Nelson.
I've been fighting for legalization of the one thing that can bring comfort to millions. And of course, I'm talking about Skechers.
Can we stop the commercial? Willie, I don't think Skechers are illegal anywhere.
Really? But they feel so good.
No, you can wear them anywhere, Willie.
Well, pass the Skechers.
Skechers comfort feels so good because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has all the fits and features you need for ultimate comfort. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harman Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmansolar.com.
Distracted driving kills in Arizona. Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for greatest of all time, as in spaghetti sandwiches for dinner. They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He's at the wedding, so we got Ralph from Harman Solar with us. Of course, he's with us every Thursday anyway, so thanks. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, well, I don't know. Are you guys looking forward to this weekend of football? You got Sunday on Saturday. Oh, yeah, most of the games are being played on Saturday. And then on Sunday, Christmas, you got just like a Thanksgiving. You got one game, here and there and then there. And then, of course, Monday Night Football is back to normal. So do you like it like this? Or, I don't know if we've had it like this before. I
don't remember it being like this before. No. I could live with it like this.
That's okay.
It's going to it's going to keep me from going anywhere.
That's not a bad.
There's nowhere to go anyway. It's all closed.
Yeah, well, only on Sunday. On Sunday, it'll be all closed.
And you don't want to go anywhere Saturday. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. No, you're right. People are just be like rushing around trying to get last minute gifts and stupid stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to hunker down and football the crap out of this thing. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, let's get caught up on the text line and we'll get to our picks. Let's see. The Berg says, what we really want is Lions and Jags in the Super Bowl. It's a possibility, oddly enough. Yeah. Nobody is.
Look, I'm pulling for the Detroit boys in blue, but I'm not. I'm not. Let's not go Lions Jags Super Bowl or watching that Lions defense in a Super Bowl. That's not going to be fun.
And Berg, if you're going to say we want Lions Jags in the Super Bowl, just turn that W upside down, please. Hefty Lefty says Broncos aren't a bad defense for your son to watch. He can only choose 2 or 3 that are better. The bummer is it'll probably make him resent an offense so much that it'll maybe turn him away, turn him into a bad teammate if his high school team's offense sucks as much as the Broncos. Well, the good news is he's great on offense, so he'll be on both. He's playing both sides of it for now. King Kitten says Panthers control their playoff destiny. And the Lions and the Washington team, they're almost right there too. Reality is going to set in very quickly for everybody. I'm not gonna get into this. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, I want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you, Boomer Sooner, but we're gonna be here tomorrow. So now it's kind of weird. Because you're probably gonna say that all over again tomorrow.
Or maybe he's going out. Maybe he's going somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe he's traveling.
Think about that, but if he shows up tomorrow, it's gonna be awkward. Big George says, duly noted. Add the Detroit Lions as another team Ralph will start cheering for if they make the playoffs. Ralph ditched the Rams pretty quick once they started losing this season.
I never ditch anybody, and of course, everybody would pull for the Lions. Come on, those poor fans.
Not so much. Don't care.
Yeah, you would.
No, not so much.
I think you would.
Yeah, it's not really. Don't care. Straight Striper says Reggie White is one of the greatest. If you haven't seen the video of him telling Philadelphia Eagles fans the breaking news of Jerome Brown's death, I challenge you to watch. That is what a real man looks like.
That was great. Yeah.
I guess I'll have to look that up. Boomer Sooner says, oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. See you tomorrow. Okay, can we just start doing our picks now, please? I think we should do that. It's time for your Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. And of course, I don't have Randy's picks here because, he forgot to send them over. So I think we all know how he feels about the Cardinals. So we won't worry about that. So let's go ahead and start from the top. Thursday night football tonight. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right. The playoff bound Jacksonville Jaguars, according to some of you, taking on the New York Jets. The Jets had started out pretty good, and now they're starting to be more Jets-like. The defense is on fuego, but I don't know, not really feeling their quarterback situation. It doesn't feel like this one should be that hard to pick, though, but now it kind of is. Keon, how do you see this game between Jacksonville and the Jets on Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, I think that the two teams are kind of ascending at this point. Trevor Lawrence is starting to look like the Trevor Lawrence we thought the Jags drafted last year. The last 4 games of Trevor Lawrence has been really, really good. The Jets defense never disappoints, but I don't like Zach Wilson. I don't like him at all. I don't like him from the standpoint of he's not a leader. I don't like him from the standpoint of he doesn't take accountability for his mistakes. And I think he's an actually bad quarterback. Like, I just think that he's got all of the talent that you want. There's a reason he was taken second overall, but he doesn't know what he's looking at. He can't read a defense still. And he hasn't made a ton of strides towards getting better at that. And they played better when Mike White was out there, which is kind of insane to really say, but Mike White, competent at least. Zach Wilson isn't, and I think he holds the Jets back and what they're capable of. So I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the red hot Trevor Lawrence all of a sudden.
All right, Ralph, Zach Wilson's the best of what's left for the Jets. You don't think the defense for the Jets is more than enough to keep Hairboy at bay, or do you think that Jacksonville is going to get a big old W on this one and get closer to that playoff dream?
This game's kind of tough. Jacksonville, I think, won 4 out of 6, right? I mean, they've been hot. Jets are on a 3-game losing streak. My mind says, no, you take the Jets because that defense is what they are, and they're going to shut down Trevor Lawrence, and they'll find a way to score points, right? And that's where I'm picking right now. It's been hard, and I'll probably battle this until about game time. But as of right now, I think the Jets you have to take the Jets. I'm going to go Jets.
Now, just so you know, I'm not bandwagoning on Keon. You can see right there, I picked the Jaguars already. Picked them a few days ago. Everything Keon said is correct. Everything Ralph said is wrong. So
that's not true. You struggled with this one.
Of course. It just there's so much wrong in the gray matter between the ears of old Zach Wilson that I just can't do it.
That's why it wasn't even a struggle for me. I do not like Zach Wilson right now.
But you've been on that defense all year.
I have,
Yep.
and as long as there's a competent quarterback there, so that the defense doesn't waste its time, because the last time Zach Wilson played before he got benched, if you recall, they played the Patriots. That defense held the Patriots down to 3 points all game. And if it wasn't for a fluky punt return at the end, who knows what could have happened. But for the Jets offense to only also score 3, that's Zach.
Yeah.
You got to have some offensive support no matter how good your defense
And
is.
there's another element to all of this, and that is one of the Jeffrey O'Brien isms. If you leave the damn defense out there on the field too long, they're not going to be a good defense anymore. They're going to be a tired defense, and then you're going to start scoring on them. And that is very likely what's going to happen. That's going to be the opportunity that Hairboy gets, and you'll probably see a lot of scoring in the later quarters, just because the poor defense is going to be out there all the damn time.
The weather will impact this game too, though. So
yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Could be a really low score. This could be like a 9-6 game.
It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
But it's here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right. Berg says Randy picked the Jags for tonight. You don't know that.
He's with him.
How would you know?
He said he was with him.
What's wrong with you? No, that's Boomer Sooner who's lying.
Everybody's with him.
So the Bills went to Chicago a day early because blizzard looming. It's going to hit Chicago. You're going to see all kinds of snow in Buffalo and New York. Any place that there's an open air stadium in the Northeast, it's going to be some rough patches. And the Bills know that, so they went there early to try to avoid stuff. National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning for the Chicago area from noon today till 6 a.m. on Saturday. Well, guess what? They play at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, for us, that's 11 a.m. On Saturday. So it'll be just as stuff might be getting better. It may not be getting better. But Buffalo taking on the Bears at home. Are we still calling it Soldier Field?
For now.
I'll just call it that. I don't give a damn what their sponsors are.
Unless they've changed it and I didn't notice.
So Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears trying to find their way against the Buffalo Bills. Is the weather on their side, or probably not even, because Buffalo, same thing, right? So there's no differences from what they've played in, live in. There's no advantages. But Ralph, does Chicago have a chance to upset the Buffalo Bills?
No, I don't think they do. I mean, I know you guys are talking about Justin Fields. I still don't believe in that guy. I get it. He can run. He reminds me of RG3. He's got the legs, he can run, but he doesn't have RG3's arm, in my opinion. But I just think he's a flash in the pan. And once he gets knocked in the legs and someone takes his knee out one day, that'll be the end of him. But I'm sorry, that's a little dark.
Yeah, I mean, geez.
I got a little
like
dark.
Justin Fields. I think that right now you're not going to see what you need to see, but you will later when he's got some pieces. It was Tua. It's the Tua thing.
I don't think it is. We'll see. I guess we'll see. But anyway, I think Buffalo is the team that's going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I think this is another win for them. Josh Allen's just playing out of his mind. It doesn't matter what the weather is. Look at last week in the snow. I mean, he's at a different level. So I'm going to take Buffalo.
Keon?
I'm taking Buffalo too, but I like Justin Fields. I've seen real growth in his game as a passer from year 1 to year 2. And even from earlier in the year to now, he's a better passer than he was. So he's continuing to improve that aspect of his game. But yeah, you got to use his legs right now as he's continuing to develop. Ryan Fitzpatrick even said so earlier in the year. But I still think that the Bears are an incomplete football team. They don't have a complete defense. A couple of good players here and there, but they've got to build that thing out. And that offensive line still needs a lot of work. So the Bills, designed as a cold weather team. You know, Josh Allen's got a howitzer attached to his arm. He's going to be able to throw the ball even in the wind. And that's something that he's been able to dominate a lot of teams with, because he could make those throws and the opposing quarterback a lot of times can't.
I got the Buffalo Bills over the Chicago Bears. I feel like for me, watching the Bears is just watching the future. And I disagree with you, Ralph. I think Justin Fields, when he's got better pieces around him, is going to show you who he really is. And if you're right and he's not, then we'll know pretty quick. I mean, we had these exact same conversations about Tua Tagovailoa with Miami, and he did stink quite a bit when he didn't have pieces around him that were complimentary. And they gave him one last shot this season. Can you imagine them moving on from him now? No, it's working. So Justin Fields will get his chance to work, but it's not this week. It's not this year. It's going to be next year after this amazing draft. I think they're going to have.
They got a bunch of picks.
All right, let's move on to the next game on 1580 The Fanatic. This one is around 2:15 p.m. It's Keon's Washington Commandos versus the San Francisco 49ers. And I know the records don't show it, but I feel like this is a couple of evenly matched teams. I feel like they are evenly matched teams. San Francisco is 10-4. Washington is 7-6-1. That's right. You have the shame of a tie hanging on you, just like my Colts do.
Just the stink that just hangs there.
All right, Ralph. The 49ers, you feel like they should win this game, but then the Commanders, with that defense and being at least competent under Taylor Heineke, and then you got Carson Wentz ready to go as a backup, competent offense. I don't know. You think that the Commandos have a chance?
I mean, I look at Brock Purdy last week, and he had one really good drive in the beginning of the game, and then he had one deep ball at the very end of the game to finish the game out. Other than that, he did nothing.
Didn't need to. He got Chris McCaffrey chugging along.
That, and it was not really, because he was even shut down most of the game. It was turnovers, right? That's how they won. Their defense is good.
Okay.
But Washington's defense is good. And I think they're going to shut Purdy down, and I think it's going to be all on McCaffrey, and they're going to struggle. This is going to be a really close game. I think the Niners defense is better than the Washington defense, but I think honestly that the Washington offense is better than what San Fran has, even with McCaffrey. And it's going to be a really close game. I think this is a field goal game. I'm going to take the Niners to find a way to win, but I will not be surprised to see Keon's Commanders win this game.
I'm on the Niners just because it's at home. Beyond that, you're right. This could go either way. And if Brock Purdy can get hot, then maybe you could see something else happen. But I don't see it happening against this, Commandos defense. I don't think it's going to be as easy a game for the Commandos defense as you think. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still feeling the 49ers on this. All right, it's your team, Keon. Who do you got?
Yeah, I like both defenses. Like Ralph said, it's the two really good defenses. I think the Niners defense is a little bit better. But Washington hasn't given up, I think, more than 200 passing yards to anything but one quarterback this year, and that was Jared Goff and that insane Lions defense. So I just think that I like where both teams are defensively. I don't like where Washington's offense is right now, because Taylor Heineke hasn't been running as much, and that's his strength, is behind that offensive line. He can move around and make plays, and he's been trying to play from the pocket a whole lot more lately, and that's not a recipe for success to me. And until I see differently, I'm going to take the Niners too.
I wasn't going to talk about this game, but now I feel like I have to. I don't think the Detroit Lions are going to win this week. I think the Carolina Panthers are actually going to beat them at home. And I think Steve Wilkes is going to be vindicated. Here's the problem. If Detroit Lions could play every game from their own house, oh, hell yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl. This game is not at their house, and I don't care what you think about the Carolina Panthers. I think they win this game. Is anyone else with me? No.
I don't think I can join you on that, just because the firepower that the Lions bring offensively, I don't see the Panthers as necessarily having that. Their defense is pretty good this year, but their defense has been better. And I think that defense could probably challenge the Lions, but not the version that we're seeing right now. I'm going to take the Lions.
You know who I have more picks than? Both of you.
Look, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
The Lions are hot. You have to go with I don't care what you think about the Lions, but they're playing right now. Their offense is clicking.
Oh, no doubt. I'm not saying you're wrong about that.
I mean, they're balling. I think they win this game, and I honestly think they have a great shot at making the playoffs. I mean, Seattle's schedule is tough going forward. Commanders is tough. I mean, it's just going to be
if
tough.
the Commanders lose and Detroit wins, they're in.
Yeah, unless Seattle wins.
That's too early for your excuses. All right, so let's just save those for when the inevitable does happen.
I'm taking the Lions.
All right, you guys do what you want to do, but like I said, all right, the other game that's on 1580 The Fanatic on Saturday, you got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And again, both of them are 6-8. Both of them have had their ups and downs this season. Both of them have quarterbacks that look like they could cry at any minute. This is kind of a tough one. Let's go to Keon for this one first. This is in Pittsburgh, by the way. So I think weather may be a little bit of a factor there too, right?
Yeah, no, weather's going to absolutely be a factor on that front. I'm leaning towards the Raiders. I just think that the Raiders have played better football over the last few weeks. They're still making some of the sloppy, silly mistakes that they made earlier in the year when it looked like they couldn't win any games, but they're making more positive plays now. Derek Carr's making more positive plays, and their defense has really stepped up to fill up the void that sometimes the offense leaves out there. Whereas the Steelers, I don't know where the help's coming from. Like outside of TJ Watt, really what is going on that defense? You know, it's very inconsistent. And then offensively, Kenny Pickett's okay. He's been all right this year, but that's it. He hasn't been anything more than okay. So I'm going to go with the Raiders because I think they're a more complete football team.
I'm going with the Steelers because Josh McDaniels is a big old poo-poo head. And I believe in Mike Tomlin and the Steelers at home. Ralph?
Well, isn't Trubisky playing?
I don't
think it's hurt, isn't it?
I don't care who's playing.
I mean, I think this is a game where you can pick a name out of a hat, right? I mean, either one of these teams is going to win. I'm going to go. I want to say Pittsburgh because home field advantage in the weather, but I'm with Keon. I think the Raiders are probably a little bit better, and they probably find a way to win. So I'm taking the Raiders.
And Ralph, Kenny Pickett actually cleared the concussion protocol, so he's good to go Saturday.
Okay. I don't mind being a couple more picks up on you guys. Doesn't hurt my feelings at all. So you guys go. Let's get caught up on the text line very quickly. Mr. Pringle says, Ralph, spitting truths again this week. Keep it up. The great work, Ralph.
Thank you.
I don't know what you said, but I'm sure it was just something about his team. You know? Donnie says, I'm clocking out for the long break. Merry Christmas to the Blender fam. Even my haters scold. Wait, was that mean you're wait, we're not going to hear from you anymore?
That's what it sounded like.
It's an early Christmas gift.
Oh, no.
Let's take a break. We come back. We have more of the games that'll be on 1580 The Fanatic that need picking. And, of course, our games, too. Don't think I forgot about what's going to happen to your Seahawks, Ralph. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Thursday night football, the Jets take on the Jaguars. New York's favored by 2. Jacksonville plus 115 on the money line. The over-under is 37. The Jets are 7-7. Jacksonville 6-8. Both teams are in the playoff hunt. Mike White is out for New York. That means 2021 second overall pick Zach Wilson will start his 9th game of the season. Quinnen Williams questionable after missing last week with a calf injury. Trevor Lawrence, Andrew Wingard, Chad Buma, Brandon Sheriff, and Jawan Taylor all listed as questionable for the Jaguars. Top 25 hoops tonight. Number 4, Kansas takes on Harvard. The Jayhawks are favored by 21.5. Number 5, Arizona battles Morgan State. The Wildcats are a 28-point favorite. Red Hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwhiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwhiners.com. I'm Chuck Sanders on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
It can happen easily. A few drinks become a few too many. It's time to go, and you think of calling for a ride home. Nah, what's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone, drive sober, or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Did you hear Jacobs and Helly?
Tiger goes out there and he basically says that Greg Norman needs to go, and then gave an update on his health. Here comes the idiot, Ashley Perez. Quote, literally why driving under the influence is illegal. Thank God he didn't kill anyone. See ya. I will challenge Pat Perez and his mouthy, imbecile wife. If my guy loses, I'll retire. He loses, he retires.
Jacobs and Helly, weekday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. CK says Niners by 10. I just can't get behind, picking with points. You see the guys doing it on TV, and I have respect for that. I've always been a cowboy poker kind of guy. I'm just, give me the cards, 5 card. Let's do this simple stuff. I don't like to, I'll give you the over under. Oh, I'll give you the spread. Just pick the damn thing.
Yeah.
I'm right or I'm wrong.
The spread makes sense to me a little bit because it's like, how much do you think they'll win by? But when you start getting to exact point totals, I mean, I don't know. If you score 35 points today, that could have been for any number of reasons. Maybe you just recovered a lot of fumbles, which is largely luck. I mean, it's impossible to guess that accurately, in my opinion. So there's no point in picking it that way. That's just me.
Hear that noise? You heard that noise? Hey, you have like a computer cable next to your wires or something there, Ralph?
No.
There's like a weird high-pitched whiny noise. I don't know if anybody else can hear it, but me, just me. It's not your voice either. It's
I was going to say, is that a shot at Keon or me?
There's actually a sound. You maybe move some. Do you have like laptop or something around it?
Nothing.
Is the A mixer up in there or something? Because I hear this just weird noise. Anyway, Hefty Lefty says Lunch Bet says Jeffrey changes that pick to the Lions before the game.
Probably.
No. I'm going to die on this hill. By the way, the sound went away for like a brief moment, just so you know. Oh, pull down Acer. Pull down Acer. When you were moving your mouse. Nope, that's not it.
It's already down. Actually.
Turn off your microphone. There. Turn off my microphone then. Maybe it's me. Turn off Ralph's thing. Yeah. See, it's Ralph. I told you it was Ralph. We can turn Ralph back on.
He is back on.
It's not forever. Let's see. Boomer Sooner says, hey, Keon, I was wondering if you saw the photo clip of Ron Rivera telling special teams player 3 years he made the Pro Bowl this year, special teams. Very touching. Yeah, he did his thing where he's like, he pretended like he's bringing him in. Hey, I got to tell you something. The player's like, oh, crap, I'm getting cut.
Am I going to have to give you my iPad now? Is that what's going to happen here?
Right. And then he says, you made the Pro Bowl. Did you not see the video?
I haven't seen the video, no.
How have I seen the video of your team getting on the Pro Bowl and you haven't?
I just looked at the list of the guys that made the Pro Bowl.
You call yourself a fan?
Yeah, I watch all the games.
Call yourself a fan.
I think I need to repeat myself. That team, I watch all the games.
Call yourself a fan. All right.
Okay. After all the damage they've done to my eyeballs, I've watched all the games.
So you got the PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. And next up, well, you're not going to be happy about this either. It's Dallas hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. 2 teams I think you probably wish would both lose at the same time, if possible. It's not possible. But here's the news. Nick Sirianni has made the announcement. Gardner Minshew will start against the Cowboys. I'm excited.
It is going to be fun. It is going to be fun.
I have advised Thundar, the San Barbarian, in the Premier League because he had Jalen Hurts. And I was like, dude, go get Gardner Minshew right now. And he did. And Rosalie was sort of mocking him, saying, yeah, wow, okay. And I'm like, no, I believe in the Minshew. Of course, don't get mad at me if
he goes out there and doesn't do anything. I mean,
yeah, but still, if I were able to, I would start him this week just to see what would happen. And not even kidding you. Well, no, I had Tom Brady and Jared Goff.
You're okay.
I would definitely be going old Brady against Arizona, but that's another story. All right. So Dallas Cowboys at home. They're 10-4. The Philadelphia Eagles 13-1 coming to town. Jalen Hurtless because Jalen Hurts is hurt, and Gardner Minshew getting the start. They are excited in Philadelphia as well. They say Gardner is ready. He's going to be our guy. He worked his butt off, and he's ready to go, and he's got a really good football team around him. And, yeah, we're playing a pretty good defense there, he says, but no, we are ready to go. And I got to tell you, I believe in Gardner Minshew, but not enough to give up the pick. I'm taking the Cowboys. Yeah, I hope Thunder the Santa Barbarian didn't hear me say that.
I sure hope not to, but we'll we'll see his reaction.
Gamble your entire fantasy football season on this idea, and then I take the Dallas Cowboys. Well, what do you say, Ralph?
I don't believe either. I think that's going to really, really hurt Philadelphia. And you know what? What do they care if they lose? Does it really hurt them if they lose?
Yeah, I think that's why nobody's too upset about it.
Yeah. So I think this is a important game for Dallas. I think Dallas can shut Minshew down. I love the guy. Great mustache. I think he's going to look horrendous.
I don't care about the mustache. I think he's going to be better than you think.
Yeah, no, I don't think he is. I'm going Dallas.
All right. So you believe in the Minshew, or do you believe in the Dak Fu? I don't. Dak Fu. How's that?
In the Dak Fu. No, I believe in the Minshew. I like the guy, and I think that this is the best offensive line he's played behind since he's been in the league. These are the best weapons he's had. That's the best running game he's had because they can still run the ball. Miles Sanders is still in the backfield last time I checked, and this is the best defense he's had backing him up as well. That, and Randy likes to say glug, 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 glug about his fantasy football team. This Cowboys offense is glug, glug, glug.
Oh, yeah.
Dak Prescott is not living up to the cash that he's being paid right now. And when I look at the offense and the way that offense
sleeps
struggles,
great at night on those beds.
Yeah, no, that sleep number doing a whole lot for him, but not the rest of that offense. There's maybe 10 other guys that maybe should get a sleep number too. I don't know, Dak, hook them up. But between that and the fact that there are ways to target the Cowboys defense, and Dan Quinn hasn't made the necessary adjustments for Dallas to be able to counter that, I'm going to go Philly.
All right. I want to take Philly, but I'm going to stick with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. I might change that one. I'm not changing the Lions pick, but I might. I don't know. Next game that is on 1580 The Fanatic is on Sunday morning. You got Green Bay Packers at Miami Dolphins. Well, all right. Well, it's outside, and I'm trying to find ways that Aaron Rodgers can win this game. And I'm just not finding it. I'm going to go with Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins right now on this game. I mean, used to be back in the day, you don't bet against Aaron Rodgers. Well, that was when Aaron Rodgers had people to throw to. They got one guy to throw to. And I've already forgotten his name. Watson, that's his name. I already forgot his name. So I'm going to go with Miami at home. And this is a game that means a whole lot more to the Dolphins, I think, than it should to the Packers. What do you say, Keon?
I agree. I'm taking the Dolphins as well. I think that as much as I like Christian Watson and I like actually Romeo Doubs, he's back. He's actually playing pretty well. They're starting to figure out how to play with Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I liked what Tua did last week. Wasn't a win, but he actually looked all right, and I feel better about him now after the Bills game than I do the week before when he was just beat up by the Niners.
So we talked about this off air. We haven't had a chance to talk about it on air. How Aaron Rodgers refuted a story that said that he was using like 5-year-old hand signals, and it was confusing all these players who had no idea, probably because he's on the drugs. And so he came out. He was with the old Pat McAfee. You remember Pat McAfee used to be on this station, and he's like, "Hey, that's all 95% BS. There's no credibility to those stories, and a bunch of anonymous people saying stuff." And it turns out, no, Aaron, there are people actually put their name on that, former players, current players, that sort of thing. So it's a real thing. The hazy brained Aaron Rodgers is using old hand signals, and that could have a lot to do with why they're having trouble figuring out what Aaron Rodgers wants. And so, you got to take that into consideration, Ralph, when you mispick this pick too.
if this game was in Green Bay, I would think about it, but I'm not going to even think about it. There's not much to say here. You're going to go with Miami. They should win this game. I don't see that the Packers even keep within 10 points of them. So no, I'm taking Miami. There's not even going to bring up anything else.
Do you think they're going to try to get him to go to rehab? It's like, no more tea, Aaron. Just clear your head, please, because this ain't working. You're supposed to be bringing these young receivers along, and it's nothing but confusion.
And he is, but he's a terrible teacher. So it's going slower than what it should be. Because what they said was he comes in and he has the hand signals and he does it before the season starts because he doesn't want anybody to figure it out over a course of an off season. So they right before the season starts, but it's not a great explanation. So guys still don't know what everything means. And if you don't understand what he means in the hand signal meeting, you're kind of screwed for the year. And a lot of the young guys are like, look, we haven't played with you. We don't know what that means. Can we get some more time to work this out? And they don't do it in the off season. So they just don't have the rhythm there. That's why it seems like they're actually kind of getting better now than the way they started the year.
All right. Well, I think we're all in Miami for this. So let's move on to the next one. Denver Broncos at 2:15 playing the Los Angeles Rams. Both teams are in serious trouble. Both teams have really been well below expectations. Both teams have the same record, 4-10. The Rams are at home. Who gives a crap? It doesn't matter. I honestly don't even. I just went with the Rams at home because they're at home. There's nothing else I have in this mess. Denver has a pretty good defense. Well, so do the Rams. The offense is horrible for Denver. So is the Rams. So honestly, the only reason I'm picking the Rams at home. Keon, you have a better reason to pick them or someone else?
Yeah, I'm going to take Denver because the Rams have a good defense. I think Denver has a great defense. It's just we've not seen the results of it because they can't score any points. But when you look at what they hold people to, if they could have scored 3 or 4 more points in every game they've played, they might have won most of them. And so that's a big problem. But I think that their defense is better than LA's defense, and I think their defense might even score. That's why.
I might change my pick. Ralph, where are you at?
I took the Rams for the same exact reason you did. Just they're home.
Did you just get talked into changing it by Keon?
No,
because I might.
If Russell decides to maybe play like Russell Wilson.
Wait, which Russell Wilson?
That's what I'm saying. If he plays like the Seahawk Russell Wilson, then yeah, they should win the game. But the way he's playing and how he brings the offense down so much, I'm staying with the Rams for now because I just think because they're the home team. No other reason.
Yeah, I just happen to like Russ Wilson slightly more than I like Baker Mayfield right now. So.
All right, fair enough. There we go. Let's move on to the next one. Now, keep in mind, we don't have the Sunday night game because it's the Cardinals. We don't get to play them, but we do have Monday Night Football, which lucky you is the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Indianapolis Colts. My Colts are 4-9-1. The Chargers 8-6, but it doesn't feel like they're 8-6. This is a team that is kind of Jekyll and Hyde, you either get Herbert coming out playing really well and them just sort of, hanging in there and beating teams, or they're getting their asses kicked. I don't know which version of the Chargers will show up to Lucas Oil Field, but I'm not sure it's going to matter against the Colts. I'm going to let you guys talk this out first, but I don't feel very confident about this. What do you say, Ralph? You want to hate on this and just make it easy? Or
I guess I'd love to be in that locker room to see how the Colts are feeling about what happened last week, and how do you put that behind you, right? That's pretty tough. And they lost Jonathan Taylor for the rest of the year. That's going to hurt. I really want to take the Colts just to piss you off and hope that they win, and you get the 15th.
Don't put that bad mojo on me, Ralph.
I've been putting it on you like crazy. So, but common sense says that the Chargers, even though you're right, they're 8-6, they feel like they're 3-11. I don't know why, but I'm going to take the Chargers because, they should win this game.
Keon, you should not have taken a bite because I'm going to you now.
No, it's okay. It's a very melty Reese's peanut butter cup, so I can still talk.
That's nice.
That's
nice.
But yeah, no, I am going to take the Chargers, not because I think that they're that great. They should absolutely be better. I think that the defense has underachieved. I feel like I say this every single week, but there are times where they actually do step up and play at the level that they're supposed to. Part of it is they like to invite the run and basically force you to beat them running the football. And if I thought the Colts could do that without Jonathan Taylor, I might pick them for an upset, but no, I got to stick with the Chargers. I think that this matchup favors them a lot.
Now, let me ask you an even more important question, both of you. Are you starting to see what I've been saying? We're tanking. Are you seeing the tanking?
Oh, I've been agreeing with you for weeks.
I don't think you're tanking. I think you're just bad.
Yeah, no, the players don't know they're tanking. The owner is the one who's put things into play, and certain little things I'm sure he's saying, hey, let's just go ahead and rest Jonathan Taylor. Hey, why don't you bring Matt Ryan in? Hey, why don't you take Matt Ryan out? I'm sure there's a voice in Jeff Saturday's ear that it smells a lot like mushrooms. Genius.
When I believe they were tanking was when he told Frank Reich he could not play Matt Ryan. And then the moment he hired Jeff Saturday, he told Jeff Saturday, you get to play Matt Ryan. That reeks of tanking to me.
Yeah,
that is not subtle at all. So yeah, no, I absolutely agree with the tank job that's going on here.
Hey, do you remember the parameters of it? How much did Matt Ryan have to play, to get paid? Did they pull him out before the threshold was met? And that's the one thing I'm not sure about, because we're spending a lot of damn money just to confuse people otherwise. Oh, and by the way, I'm taking the Chargers.
Of course.
I mean, it's not even a hopeful thing. Like, I hope the Chargers win. I am pretty damn sure they're going to win. And I think it'll be fun to watch. Herbert is not going to have the easiest time against that defense. He's going to earn it. He's going to earn it. And it might be fun to watch, but I don't see the Colts offense really doing much of anything. So yes, emphatically, I've got the Chargers for the win on this one. CK says Colts been tanking since week 1. 3 or 4. 3 or 4, I think. Good Cat says, do any of you think the emotion of Franco Harris's passing could lead the Steelers to playing better, especially at home? No.
I think that stuff happens in college. I don't think that's a professional.
And a lot of these guys, they're just young guys, and they don't have that win-win for the Gipper kind of spirit. A lot of these guys are just about themselves or the guys in that locker room with them. They don't have the same sense of history. I'm not going to put the blanket all over the entirety of that team, but I'd say a majority of them, I'm right. It's just the way this younger generation is. God, I'm starting to sound so.
And also they just don't have that connection. They may have met Franco Harris, but they don't know what he means to that organization in that same way. Maybe somebody like TJ Watt, who's going to be embedded in that organization forever, but for your more journeyman type guys or guys that just got there, just got drafted, they don't have that connection yet.
All right, let's take a break. We got a couple more picks left. And then, of course, don't forget, get your fantasy football questions ready. Fantasy girl Rosalie Michaels will be joining us at 5 o'clock to answer your questions, whether you're in the playoffs or you're sadly not, like all of us. Well, I mean, we're in them. We're just not in them. Just shut up. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. We look ahead to week 16 in the NFL. Cardinals take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and playoff spots are being fought for. We'll keep you updated. College bowl games continue. Suns have a new owner. Updates on and off the court, and the Coyotes, and more. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved, and the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. King of Kittens has a fairly good question. Says, if the NFL Sunday Ticket is on YouTube and YouTube is owned by Google, we'll never stop seeing advertisements for that thing that we've always been sort of wanting, kind of. It's a good point. I wonder if they're going to use direct advertising within the games. Like they know your Google search history and stuff, so they know that you're looking at a staple gun or something, and then all of a sudden there's just all these staple gun commercials in your football.
I wouldn't put it past them, but when I had the YouTube TV, they just ran the national ads that were in the game.
Oh, I was gonna have fun with it because when I knew the brother-in-law was coming over, I would just the entire week before I would continually Google hemorrhoids. Just so all this hemorrhoid stuff would pop up on this, and he could kind of look over like, "Are you okay, man?" Big Stanky says, "Merry Christmas, guys," and Rosalie. Well, I'll tell her that when she gets here, so I'll put a pin in this. So guys, I keep saying, wait till she's actually here because she can't hear nothing for another 15 minutes or so. But I am so damned excited about, and I'm also. I am going to get a backup. The backup is going to be the digital TV antenna to get regular stations that I'm going to mount. Because at first I was like, well, wait, if YouTube TV has all the local channels, I don't need an antenna. But then I thought, oh yeah, like Cox Communications never goes out. So
good point. That's a very very good point.
Better some football than no football.
When your internet goes out, you just look on your cell phone and you stream YouTube TV on your cell service.
Oh, you're so good. But what if it's apocalyptic and all of a sudden there's no cell phone service and there's no internet to the cell phone, or there's no phone to the cell phone, or the internet? What if all of that goes? I still feel better knowing that I have that antenna in the window just in case. And the other part about that is, and I was talking to my wife, I'm like, Sunday night football, sometimes you're watching, or if you're wanting to watch, she's a Cardinals fan in the house. That's usually on the local channels and stuff. No delay, less of a delay, because here's been my argument against streaming games and stuff from the beginning is the lag time. There is always going to be some latency. There's going to be a delay. Now, local TV will put like an additional 7-second delay. I don't know why, but some of them do. And so, they're that extra layer of protection. So that sometimes pauses the game. You're behind on the local TV and it's ahead on the direct TV Sunday Ticket thing. Whatever the case, I just feel like there's going to be circumstances where you're more immediate. And I've always worried about that lag time. And I just haven't noticed it at all with the Amazon Thursday Night Football. I haven't noticed like my phone going bling before something happens on Amazon's Thursday Night Football. I don't know. Have you guys run into any situations where the streaming thing has made it weird?
No, I haven't. And actually, when you stream it on your cell phone through your cell service, it's faster. It's ahead of your internet one.
Makes sense.
So what you do is you can stream it on your cell phone and then cast it to your TV, and you're ahead of the game.
How's the quality though when you do that?
Very good. Yeah,
Seriously?
it's really good.
I wonder if you're one of those guys who says, "Oh, it's really, really good." You go to your house, you got these like square TVs, or it's 420 DPI, and you're like, "Man, this is amazing quality.
Yeah.
This is good stuff."
I still have the console TV with tubes in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the red, green, and blue lights that are. Big George says YouTube TV has this a commercial break filler they put on some channels called A Moment of Zen, and it's the most peaceful thing ever. I hope YouTube TV puts that in the Sunday ticket. They stole that from The Daily Show, did they? A Moment of Zen.
You can bypass it though.
How do you? Well, then what do you see if you bypass it?
Commercial typically.
I think I'm going to go with The Moment of Zen. Would you rather have commercials or The Moment of Zen?
The Moment of Zen.
Yeah, I like Zen.
My dog barks at everything. If there's a dog on TV, he loses his mind, even though he's seen the same commercial 100 times. He barks at Scrooge because he thinks Scrooge is a dog because Scrooge has the furry face, so he's like, "Oh, that's a dog right there." I'm like, "No, that's Scrooge, you idiot." And he barks at cartoons of cats. He likes to bark. So if I had a moment of Zen and I didn't have to watch it, so is that a choice? You can skip commercials and just do that?
Well, you can skip the Zen.
I don't want to skip the Zen. I want to skip the commercials.
Well, then you put it on your recording service through them, and then you just don't watch commercials.
Well, I'm not going to DVR games. I'll watch them live. Damn it.
Well, okay.
Well, this Zen ain't going to give me much Zen, is it?
I'm getting the feeling that the answer is no.
Yeah, I got excited about that. Beer Nut says, always have an antenna. My family in West Texas with DirecTV can't watch anything on local Fox due to a contract dispute. Family got mad because they can't watch a Cowboy game. That's a good point. And I think that has popped up here a couple times where NBC or Fox or CBS is in an argument with the DirecTV and you can't see it. So yeah, good thinking, Beer Nuts. And I'm going to spend $100 on an antenna, stick it in the window there behind the TV. We never open that window anyway. There's nothing out there we want to see but dog poop.
Spend $250 on the other option I gave you and you have nothing to worry about.
I still feel like the cops are going to kick in a door or something. I'm thinking about it. Swave Dave, what did I just say? Don't send in the text for Rosalie yet. She ain't here. Here's what happens. We get text after text after text. It's just a crazy thing here. I don't read them all the time at the same time. But what happens is your guys' questions for her get pushed down. They get pushed down. And then I don't see them in sometimes until it's too late. So always wait until 5 o'clock to send those questions. At least wait till 4:56 because I don't want to be the guy who forgets to read your question. Unless I'm playing you in fantasy football,
then that might happen.
I might forget, but generally I don't play you guys. I'm in the Premier League. All right. 888-368-1580. So let's go ahead. Since Randy's not here, it's not the end of the picks segment. When we talk about the Arizona Cardinals, so Trace McSorley, it's his first start, and he's adorable. He's like, it'll be my first start, but I've been in this league for 4 years. Oh yeah, you play much? No, but I've been here 4 years. You've been a backup for 4 years? Yeah. You ever start? No. Okay.
Yeah, I could understand him trying to have some confidence and big himself up. Like, what is he supposed to say? Like, I don't think I'm not gonna play very well. It's my first ever start. I'm inexperienced. They're gonna kill me out there. Like, I understand why he's saying that. He's trying to give himself some confidence.
There are two things that I know Kyler Murray is not sad to miss. One, being a pallbearer at a funeral because he'd be hanging on for dear life. His feet would never touch the ground. Two, this game and having to go against Tom Brady with the way this team is. I think that these are two things he's happy that he gets to miss. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Trace McSorley. I wish him well. I hope he does okay. But I got news for you. It ain't going to go well. I'm spoiler alert. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to get to finally feel good about themselves for one game. They are going to go 8-bleep on the Arizona Cardinals. If you have players playing against the Arizona Cardinals, play them. Why wouldn't you? Does anybody want to disagree on this? You got any hope for the Cardinals, Ralph?
None. And I hope his insurance is paid up because it's going to be ugly. There's nothing.
I have some hope for the Cardinals, but I'm not enough to pick them. But but there's some hope. Yeah, I mean, the Buccaneers have been so damn bad at points that I don't think that just playing the Cardinals fixes some of the problems that they have. They have like legitimate defensive issues. They have legitimate protecting Tom Brady issues. Like that is you just playing the Cardinals doesn't fix all of those things. But it helps, you know. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, Randy will say he picks the Cardinals.
I don't think he would even take them.
No, he would. Not emphatically, not happily, not with all the.
There's not going to be the epic rant about it, but he'll pick.
He always will pick his team. He's a good fan. He's not a bandwagon fan that goes from team to team and just picks whoever happens to be hot at that moment. That's not Randy. Randy stands by his team. I'm not doing the rest of that. So yeah, not me. And I don't even think my wife would pick the Cardinals to win this one. This is going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Also going to be bad. Kansas City Chiefs at home against the Seattle Seahawks. I don't care that you are a 500 team, Ralph. This is going to be bad. The Chiefs are going to just destroy the Seattle Seahawks. I don't care if Geno Smith is in a Pro Bowl. I don't care what you think the Seattle Seahawks are. You're about to find out exactly what they are. Keon, am I saying one single iota of mistruth here? The Kansas City Chiefs are going to do unto the Seahawks what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to do unto the Arizona Cardinals. Am I right?
I think that they are going to score lots of points on the Seahawks. I don't know if it's going to be exactly that way because the Chiefs defense is just that terrible. Like they just give up points to everybody. It really doesn't matter who they play. They win, but this team gave up a bunch of points to the Houston Texans. So I don't think that they're going to destroy Seattle.
They got the kind of offense where they can give up a bunch of points to those guys too.
Yeah, and they'll still win, but I don't think it's going to be Buccaneers to Cardinals because I think that could potentially get quite ugly. Where I don't think this is going to get ugly, but Kansas City ought to win. And Geno Smith is as good as he's been playing. You know, the numbers are down the last few weeks. I mean, he's kind of come back to earth a little bit. So I do think that like you can't have Geno out there and expect him to be, you know, what he was earlier in the year against a team that's, you know, seen the film on him and all of that stuff. I am going to take Kansas City. But I think that the Seattle will get their points. They'll get their points.
I already said, my whole thing, right? Very, very big loss for the Seahawks, right?
You did say
I said that Patrick Mahomes is going to have 5 touchdowns or 6 or 7. It's going to be bad. Ralph, are you giving any hope to your own team? You're wearing the Santa Seahawks hat. You're wearing, I don't know what you're wearing. What's your sweatshirt say there?
It's Bethel. It's my son's baseball team.
All right. So yeah, you couldn't quite commit to the Seahawks either, could you?
Look,
you couldn't quite go all in for the Seahawks, could you?
I am with Keon. Seattle's going to score in this game, and if K9 can have a good game on the ground, it will be a close game. This is going to be really high scoring. I guarantee you. This is not going to be a low. So this is going to be a fun game to watch. It will be impacted by the weather. It's going to be cold as heck in this game, so that will play into it. Mahomes is turning the ball over at least once a game, so we have to count on that. Hopefully, we can get something from them. Their defense is not that great, but
it's horrible.
The big problem, the big problem we're gonna have is that Tyler Lockett's out. That's gonna hurt. Al Woods is out. That's gonna hurt, and Neal is out, and that's gonna hurt. So those things all equal us probably losing a close game. But I'm actually going to take the Chiefs. I think they're going to beat the Seahawks, but I think it's going to be closer than you think. And I think this is like a really high scoring game.
You're going to watch your Seattle Seahawks become a drum, and they're going to get beaten.
Nope, they're not
like
gonna
a
be
drum.
A drum without a head.
Boom, 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 boom.
I disagree.
Hey, can we talk about Donnie's game? Donnie's 11-3 Minnesota Vikings up against the New York Giants. Now, New York Giants, yeah, I don't know what version of them is going to show up to this thing, but either version's not enough, I think, to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Although I'll be rooting for the Giants just so I can see Donnie have a Twitter meltdown. Any hope? Can they win, guys? Can they win?
I don't think so. I think if you want to beat the Vikings, you've got to throw the ball, and the Giants are a power running football team. I just don't see how they do it. If you can't challenge that Minnesota secondary, you're not going to score on them the way that other teams have been able to.
You concur, Dr. Ralph?
I concur.
All right. Bring Back Nitschke says local McDonald's can drum up support for the Cardinals by having the McSorley sandwich in the Happy Meal. The meat on the sandwich will be Cardinal, free range. Damn, Bring Back Nitschke. Wow, kick them while they're down. All right, so that's it for our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. Coming up next, get those questions ready. Whether you're in the playoffs or not, make the effort, and she can help you do that. Fantasy girl Rosalie Michaels answering them questions when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs. Protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
Asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older, 52,
36.
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
About getting vaccinated.
with Prevnar 20.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears radio show, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. I am here today to make the statement that just because we're in a bear market does not mean that you have to be losing money. Just like Michael Burry and Warren Buffett, bear markets should be where real generational wealth is created. But most will follow the same broken strategy that lost them in the last bear market. We are inviting you to come to an intensive 3-day trading and investing class where we will show you the trading and investing strategies of the market wizards. This class is typically $299, but right now, for 66% off, you can join us in this class. Just call 8448-TRADER. That's 8448-872337 and tell the operator you want the $99 3-day class. Or text $99 to 25029. That's $99 to 25029.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K250 Phoenix, 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
And
Now settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He's at a wedding, so we got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us, Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live in the Harmon Solar studios in Scottsdale, and joining us now is fantasy girl Rosalie Michaels. She is ready. She's prepared to answer all your fantasy football questions and to help you get through the playoffs. Not so fast, the rest of us. How do you feel about that, Rosalie? I don't think I've ever seen the first, second, third, fourth, the 4 top players get taken out by 5, 6, 7, and 8 all in the same week.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that either. You know, it's kind of strange to have all the top 4 seeds. I mean, usually you'll get an upset, maybe 2. But yeah, especially, you know, with my position, the 8 against the 1, you know, it's
was
just
something
tough. But, you know, the thing is that if you look at it, especially this year, I think records, and you noticed in our league, our records were pretty close with the exception of a few outliers, right? It's like everybody was kind of middle of the road. But my perceived point total going into the weekend, I was slated to win, and I didn't notice anybody else's, but I did notice with mine. I'm like, wow, that's crazy that I'm going up against the number 1 guy, and my point totals were projected to be higher than his.
Yeah, but who pays attention to that? Projections are rarely ever right, and nobody thought we'd see your 100 and what was it, almost 90 points on the number 1 guy. You beat him senseless.
Yeah, well, no, that was that a few weeks ago? No, that was against 4. That I didn't do 190 something points this week.
Oh, that's
it was
right.
138. I do have the highest. Let me just brag a little bit. I do have the highest point total for the season. I had the highest game total for the season at 195. 194 and change. I can't remember specifically what it was. It was somewhere around there.
And I was really hoping that you didn't get that because I was hoping to score enough to get ahead of you to get into the playoffs.
That's not true. You show up as 1,785. Box of Screws as 1,939.
She's talking single game.
No, I'm talking single game highest.
We're
highest
all
game.
married here, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Highest single game total. Yeah, I had the highest.
Yeah, you did.
And I that was the highest score for any one game this season in the Daily Blender Premier League.
You were about out of the playoffs till that last game, and so you crawl back in, and now here you are. I might quit this if you win another damn blender.
I'm looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking pretty good. If you look at my lineup right now and you look at like where my players now, of course, anything can happen. Let me just tell you, anything can happen. My worst ranked player is Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver 22. All my other players are in the top 10 in their position, with the exception of Nick Chubb at RB 12. So I'm looking pretty good, but once again, fantasy football, you know, you can make the right decisions and still end up losing. So anything can happen, but you got to just go with the odds. Hopefully, you know, play your best players, but there's crazy stuff that happens. And I think this year is a big indicator of that.
So listen, Thundar the Santa Barbarian is your opponent this week. He had Jalen Hurts, who got hurt, and I have been pushing him like, get Gardner Minshew. And not because I'm just cruel, because there's just nothing else on that waiver wire that could really help him. And I know you never ask Rosalie advice when you're playing against her, but I don't think he's listening right now. How screwed is he with Gardner Minshew? Or do you think, hey, there's a chance he can at least get 20?
Hey, there's always a chance. I mean, and it is Gardner Minshew. He does get some stuff done on the ground as well. He's a wild card. He's an absolute wild card. So you know what? This is the playoffs. You lost your best guy. Jalen Hurts was absolutely his best guy. He's got some good players. He's got some really good wide receivers, but he lost his best guy, and that just stinks for him. And I hate that that's what happened to him. this is a tough matchup for Gardner Minshew tonight. The Jets defense has been really, really good. You know, they give up the fourth least amount of points to opposing offenses. Believe it or not, their defense is solid. They also give up the eighth least amount of fantasy points to the QB position. They give up the second least amount of fantasy points to the wide receiver position, under 200, passing yards a game, 111 rushing yards per game. So there's just not a whole heck of a lot that Gardner Minshew is going to be able to do. Plus the over-under on this game tonight is 37. They're not expecting it to be a very high-scoring game. Neither am I. And, it's the Jaguars going to, Yeah, Minshew. We're talking about Minshew. I just went to Jacksonville. Why did I go to Jacksonville?
You used to play there. That's why. Yeah.
Wow, my head still has Minshew. We're talking about Philly versus Dallas.
Yeah.
Still, the matchup still stinks for him because those numbers are still very similar. It is expected to be a higher scoring game, so he does have that going for him. But the numbers are still pretty similar. Trayvon Diggs is absolute shutdown type of corner for Dallas. And so he's going to be on A.J. Brown, really limiting what he can do. So it's a tough matchup for him. But, you could see some stuff happen. It is the playoffs. It is, Philly trying to, keep Dallas out of the playoffs. But then again, Dallas is trying to, clinch a playoff position for him. It's interesting because when Jalen Hurts went out, the line shifted massively to now Dallas is favored at home by 5.
All right. Well, yeah, I hope it all works out for Thundar, the Santa Barbarian. I don't, I'm not saying I hope he beats you. I'm just hoping that Gardner Minshew does well, so I don't have to feel bad about it. That's
what
my
it
whole
sounds
thing.
like to me. It sounds very much like to me that you're saying, I hope he beats you.
No. I mean, do I want you to win another blender? No, I would prefer you did. But I'm not rooting against you.
I only have one. Look, it's so lonely. It needs a friend. I need to bookend my blender.
Well, all right. First, you got to get through Thundar, the Santa Barbarian. And then after that, it's going to be either Berg or Moist One. Moist One barely beat me. The Berg had a pretty strong showing last week, as did Thundar, the Santa Barbarian. So, the road ain't over yet for you, Rosalie, but good luck. I'm not going to root against you. I'm just only rooting for Gardner Minshew so I don't have to feel bad. Whatever happens after that is none of my business. But a lot of us now, having lost the first playoff game, well, we are still trying to beat each other.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that, okay, if we're not going to be in first place, at least we're not in last place. And I think if you're playing in fantasy football and you check out just because you're now out of the running for the championship, that takes some of the fun out of it. By the way, did you catch the idea that I have for Premier League to change it?
I missed it. I would love to hear it. And let me just, before you go into that, let me just piggyback on that. Yes, if you don't continue playing your season, it's lame. It's absolutely lame. You would want other people to keep playing. It's like in the pageant world. If you don't win, you want to clap and you want to support the girls that are still competing there. Support the people that are still competing. Really, keep playing through. Try to get the best position you can. Don't give up.
All right. So now in our situation with the weirdness, where 1, 2, 3, and 4 got beat by 5, 6, 7, and 8. It also means because, well, Keon, he's down in the basement, which means that there's 3 people down there. No matter what happens, they're leaving the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look up there at the top 8, the listener who would join them would be the number 1 guy in the league for most of the season, if not all of the season, and that's Box of Screws. And I thought, man, this is just making me sick. I can't have this. So we have to change something. And I think I've come up with a pretty good idea, and I'm going to share it with you, and hopefully you think this is good too. So, as you know, there's 5 untouchable hosts in the Premier League. And then, of course, the rest are listeners. So here's what we're going to do. Starting this year, the worst host player gets ejected from the Premier League and has to play a year in the regular league. So now that leaves 4 of us hosts. And that also opens the door for an additional listener to come and join us in the Premier League. So we're still going to have the 4 out and the 4 in, but this year 3 are going out plus 1 host to make the 4 go out, but 4 listeners are coming in. Then the next year, the lowest of the hosts. So we're just playing against each other to stay in the league, and everybody else is trying to play to win the championship and stay in the league. So the host that has the worst record has to leave the league for 1 year. And then the person who had been ejected gets to automatically come back in, whether they've won their league or not. So that's how we're going to rotate the hosts in and out, but also opens up the door for more listeners to join us in the Premier League and play for that $250. What do you think?
I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's just, you don't have to be the best, just don't be the worst.
Right. And that also means all of us are going to be playing harder no matter where we are in the to the very end. So, and also in the other leagues, I am going to change it from a 6-team playoff to an 8-team playoff. Now they've got 10 teams in each, 10 players in each one of those leagues. That way their playoff structure looks more like ours, because I just don't like seeing bye weeks. I don't like seeing bye weeks.
But wait a minute. You can't have an 8-team playoff with only 10 teams.
Yeah, sure I can.
I think that's
well, give me another solution on how to do that where we don't have a bunch of bye weeks. I don't like bye weeks.
Why can't we have 12-team leagues everywhere?
Ooh, that's interesting.
We just never even considered.
Well, we always thought, because it's harder with 12 teams. That's why the Premier League has 12, and that's why we just have 10-team leagues. The other 13 leagues.
Yeah, but I think it's, again, it's the listener base is so they want to play. You've got all these leagues, and they want it to be challenging. They don't want it to be easy. And getting to the Premier League, yes, it's still going to be hard. You still have to win your league, and then beyond that, you have to be one of the best winners, right, to get to the Premier League.
Right.
So do 12, and then you can have 8-team playoffs.
I find that interesting. I'm going to consider that. Fifth letter says, Jeffrey, how do you determine the 4 listeners that join the main league? Well, this is what I do. We take all the winners of the regular Daily Blender Fantasy Football leagues, and then I go through and I check point totals and I check win percentages. I do all the different stats till I find the cream of the crop, the 4 absolute best players. Those are the guys who get moved up, and it's more than a little bit of work to go through and try to figure this out. And now with even more leagues, it takes more time and effort. So that is how we do it. It's just whoever has the best, everything. So that's how we do it. Fifth letter, 888-368-1580. All right. So real quick before we move on. So she liked my first idea, not thrilled with the second. We'll work on that second one. You guys have any fantasy football questions for her before I start reading them off the text line?
No, I'm better.
Everybody's out of the playoffs.
I mean, I'm out, but I'm trying not to be last. No,
Right.
I'm going to ask a question.
Because he's in the basement. He's got to win.
Yeah, look, I finished 9th, and I hope that it stays 9th. I'm not trying to be 12th. Let's get it. I'm getting after this one. Dallas Goedert, Tyler Conklin.
Goedert or Conklin?
I'm gonna go Goedert. Conklin's just been, especially with Zach Wilson in there. There's a whole lot of nothing that's happening with Conklin, so I got to go Goedert at least. I think that Minshew's going to be looking for him a little bit more. So just for PPR, I think he's going to have more targets than Conklin will.
Well, I have a feeling my questions are going to be asked by listeners anyways, because my players are in that popular position as well. The Zay Jones question, the Noah Fant question. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading off text. Ralph has given up on, look at him. Look at the hat he's wearing. He's given up on life, basically. So let's get to the text line. Big Stanky says, Merry Christmas and Rosalie too. And that's all.
Thank you.
Bala 51 says, I need wide receiver advice. I need 2 starters and a flex instead of Singletary. Zay Jones, G. Wilson, C. Sutton, Jay Dotson, KJ Osborne. That's 5 names. How can you expect her to concentrate on that?
Yeah, here's it's easy. It's not, so it was Z Jones, it was KJ Osborne,
You go Dotson too, right?
It was Garrett Wilson,
Yeah,
Jahan
and
Dotson.
Sutton.
Garrett Wilson, Jahan Dotson, and I feel like there was one more in there.
There was 5. There's Jones, Wilson, Sutton, Dotson, and Osborne.
Sutton, yeah, Sutton is still questionable, so he's easily out for me. Garrett Wilson just is a target monster. Even with Zach Wilson under there, he just needs one.
He says he needs 2 starters and a flex. You see, you overcomplicated things, Bala 51.
No, it's Garrett Wilson, KJ Osborne, because just after last week, you know that Cousins is going to be looking for him, and I need Cousins to score some points. And I'm going Z Jones. Jahan's been getting some good targets too, but it's against San Francisco. I'm not liking it. Give me Zay Jones. It's a tough matchup for him tonight against the Jets, but the targets are just insane. So those 3. Jones, Osborne, Wilson.
Well, I'm going to jump on this for a second and say Zay Jones or, my receivers are Terry McLaurin and Isaiah Hodgins, I thought had a good matchup. So I was going to give it a shot with him. So do you like Zay Jones better than Isaiah Hodgins or Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, I really like Isaiah Hodgins with that matchup, and he's been getting a good amount of targets. I actually do have him. It's a risk. It's a little bit of a risk, but I think he's got a higher ceiling than Jones does. So like I said, Jones if you want to go safe and probably have a higher floor, but Hodgins if you want a higher ceiling.
And what about Zay Jones or Miles Sanders?
I'm mad at Miles Sanders after last week.
Oh, me too. I could have won my damn game if he'd done better. I only lost by 4 points.
Yeah, well, and just his comments of just like, you know what? The fantasy football players are a big part of the NFL audience. And so you're coming at the fantasy football players like, I understand, don't go after the players and give them crap for not scoring enough points for your fantasy football team. That's not okay either, people. But for football players to come out and say, I don't care about your fantasy team, I don't care about your player prop bets. You know what? This is what brings more eyeballs to the game all the time. Fantasy football has changed the way that the NFL is in terms of viewership. So, let your fans know that you want them to be watching and you want to score well for them. Austin Eckler has it right. And he's a fantasy football player as well. So Miles Sanders, I think you got to go Miles Sanders actually this week, even though I'm mad at him, because against the Cowboys, yes, it's a tough matchup, but they do give up 133, rushing yards a game. And with a change at quarterback there, that Hurts isn't going to be calling his own number quite as much. Minshew will, but I think not as much. So I actually like Sanders there.
I wonder if I should be mad at fantasy football, because if it weren't for fantasy football, I probably wouldn't need the NFL Sunday ticket. I would probably just watch whatever games are in front of me. Oh, well.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Changes your perspective.
Big George says, hi, Rosalie. I have no fantasy questions. I've been kicked out of the playoffs, but I do have a question for you. Paper or plastic? Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Paper, always paper.
Fish Tank says, Rosalie, thanks for answering my question on Twitter earlier this week. I'm still live in 3 leagues, and I have one more big roster decision, Super Flex League. Travis Etienne, Kenny Pickett, Gardner Minshew. Who do you got?
I already said what I feel about Minshew. That's a real crapshoot for me. I like Kenny Pickett being back. The matchup for him against Las Vegas is really good. Etienne's got a really tough matchup tonight, and he's been kind of a disappointment a little bit, which I had said he would be the past few weeks, and I think he disappoints again tonight. So I'm going Kenny Pickett there.
Oaktown Destroyer says, Zay. That's it. That's all he says, Zay. Hold on. There might have been a question there. Here we go. I got Zay Jones, Russell, Gage, Michael Pittman. Who should I start? And Leonard Fournette and everything. And Terry, I'm running back. Should I start? All right. Did you understand any of that?
Is that backwards? Pittman is the answer to your first question there.
Okay. Fournette
or there against the Chargers. And what was the other thing?
It says Fournette or everything and Terry. I have no idea
And
what that means.
everything
Oh, Devin
and-
Singletary.
Wow. Wow. Had to really
Fournette
decipher
or
that one.
Singletary.
Are you Yoda?
Fournette or Singletary?
There you go.
I'm going Fournette.
Mhm. Screaming Eagle says, hi, Jeffrey, Keon, Ralph, Rosalie. Before I forget, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, etc. Rosalie, do I play Chargers or Bills defense?
Chargers or Bills defense? I think you got to go Bills defense against Chicago. Not only do they give up, they take the ball away a lot, so they force a lot of turnovers, but the Bears turn the ball over a lot. And yeah, I know Justin Fields is going to be back, but the Bears turn the ball over a lot.
All right.
So I think Bills are your best bet.
I just noticed that the time is short. And boy, I'll tell you what, when we come back, we got to go rapid fire. This is the last time they're going to get to ask fantasy football questions before we're on break next week. We're not on air next week, by the way, just so you know, Rosalie. After that, though, we're back for that week of the NFL. So, all right, everybody, hang in there. We'll be right back. Rosalie Michaels with your fantasy football questions, rapid fire. It's 1580, The Fanatic.
Eagle here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Join me and Jason McCourty when the Jets host the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville are coming off a big win over the Cowboys and are in the hunt for the AFC South title. Can they keep it rolling against another tough defense in the Jets? Find out from the Meadowlands on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's home for the NFL.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with the promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code WIN for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager. Only refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona 1-800-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Indiana, Kansas 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. Louisiana 1-877-770-STOP. New York 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Wyoming, West Virginia 1-800-522-4700 or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
The Fanatic.
Stay the blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and here we go. Let's ask some. And by the way, if I see any more 5-name questions, I'm just going to skip them until the end. And if there's time, then we'll do it. But let's see what's going on here. The Berg says, Rosalie, who wins in the Jeffrey Randy consolation bracket game? Well, Randy has had my number all season long, but I don't think he cares because he's very probably sad that he is out of the playoffs. He was. I know deep down he was really wanting it, but it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter.
Oh, I know. I felt bad for Randy's team last week. They really, really, really did not show up for him.
Everybody. It was one of the worst scores I've ever seen in a playoff, and it wasn't his fault.
No, it really wasn't. And again, it's one of those things where you can make the right decision, and it doesn't. You know, that's with fantasy football, there's an element of luck and there's an element of skill. And sometimes the luck outweighs the skill.
You know, as a Colts fan, please, let's not talk about luck. The Punisher says, need some quarterback and tight end help to get to the championship round. Lost Hurts. So who to start between Geno Smith or Brock Purdy?
Oh, Geno Smith. Geno Smith has a great matchup. I like it a lot. Purdy, you know, he was not practicing, so keep an eye on him anyway. I think he is going to play, but that was a little concerning. But Geno Smith has a great matchup against KC. It's going to be a high-scoring game, so yeah, go Geno. Even without Lockett, he's got other people to throw to. So
Punisher says tight end Mark Andrews or Dawson Knox. It's a good problem to have.
It is. It's hard to sit Mark Andrews. Dawson Knox actually has a bit of a tough matchup. Yes, you know, Chicago does give up a lot of points. They don't give up a lot to the tight end position. And if Mark Andrews play, he's a stud. Atlanta gives up a lot of points to the tight end position. Tyler Huntley is going to need to throw to somebody. And so I don't see him throwing the ball deep down the field. So I still go Andrews over Knox.
Screaming Eagle had a question on tight end. Godert, Everett, or Juwan Johnson?
Oh, Juwan Johnson's been interesting. Here's the thing. All of New Orleans wide receivers are all hurt. Landry's out, Olave's out, which you think, hey, that's great. It's going to go to Juwan Johnson. But I don't know that it will. And Cleveland's actually really good against the tight end position, and they're going to focus all their time and energy on Juwan Johnson and Taysom Hill. So I'm not liking it for him. So I think I like Everett here again.
Okay. Mr. Pringle says, who do I start? I really need to win. Mahomes, Allen, or Justin Fields? Well, of course not Justin Fields, but so Mahomes or Allen, I guess.
Yeah, I love Josh Allen this week. Mahomes, it's hard to sit him. They're so good, but I love Josh Allen this week against Chicago.
Yeah, Jagdog says, since Molly McSorley's playing for the Cardinals this week, can I trust Hopkins to get any catches?
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be pretty. You can trust him to get some catches. Don't trust him to get a lot. Wait, I have to go back for a second. How does this guy have Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin? Justin feels like he went later, but how do you have Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes?
He's playing in a 4-team league. That's what I think. There's no other way. Swave Dave says, should I play Ingram or Andrew at tight end?
Ingram or Andrews? I love what Evan Ingram has been doing. It's a pretty decent matchup tonight against the Jets. He's just getting a lot of targets. Again, it's going to be a low-scoring game. Andrews, I'm erring on Andrews on that side. I think they're both going to be low-scoring games for you guys, but I'm going Andrews there. Tight one though.
Kyle G says, would Hollins from the Raiders be a choice over Metcalf or Higgins?
Metcalf or Higgins? No. Okay. Absolutely not.
Navy Brad says you should. He's got opinions I don't care about. We'll get back to that, Navy Brad, later. Fifth letter says, Rosalie, I need a quarterback. My QB1 is Lamar. Of course, you can't trust him to play, let alone perform. So what about Derek Carr or Minshew? One of those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Minshew already. Carr has a bit of a better matchup against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh defense has been pretty decent, but they do let up 238 passing yards a game and 11th most fantasy points to a QB position. So I think I'm going with that.
Taco Kenny says, Merry Christmas. Purdy or Herbert? Brock Purdy or Justin Herbert?
Again, keep an eye on Purdy, but I still like Herbert over against Indy. I mean, we saw what Kirk Cousins did last week.
Pinocchio says, Rosalie, I need you now. I fanboyed Jeffrey's advice with Hurts out, and I picked up Minshew. Do I stick with that or pick up Tannehill off the waivers? Well,
Tannehill's not playing either.
He's not ever going to play again this year, Pinocchio. Shut up.
He's not playing.
I think he's clowning us. Gamecock says, is it safe to play the Dallas defense this week?
Against Philly with Minshew in there? Yeah, possibly. I mean, it depends on what other options you have there. Here's the thing is that Dallas usually dominates this matchup against Philly. Philly did win earlier this season, 26-17, but the Cowboys usually dominate and they're 7-1 at home. So I don't mind Dallas against Philly without Hurts.
Last question. Hefty Lefty says, Nick Chubb-a-lub-a-lub or Ramondre?
Oh, Ramondre's got a great matchup, but so does Chubb, and Chubb's a stud, so starting Chubb.
And Beer Nuts just basically says, Cowboys or Eagles, Rosalie? And he says,
Cowboys!
Go Cowboys! Patrick says, do I put all my money on Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win Sunday?
Yeah.
You probably won't win much money off it because I'm pretty sure the money line is going the other way. But listen, Merry Christmas, Rosalie. We will see you on the other side. If you guys have more fantasy football questions for her, find her on the Twitterverse at Rosalie Michaels. And coming up next, it's Thursday Night Football, Jaguars Jets. We apologize for that. It's the Daily Blender on 1580.
Jacobs and Haley, 6 to 10 weekday mornings